Welcome to Park Center High School. A chilly night here for high school football action from the Suburban Blue Sub-District. It is the Armstrong Falcons paying a visit here to the Pirates of Park Center. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Ryan Iverson. Allie Mosley will be joining us from the sideline as well. No precipitation, but definitely not warm here as we head into this third week of the season here, Ryan.
Well, you look at the field, at least you see green, Jay. You're not seeing white covered snow. That's a big one. Having the traction in this kind of weather is big, and we all grew up in Minnesota. You're used to being in the cold. It takes you a few minutes. You got to forget that cold and just concentrate on execution and fundamentals.
Armstrong has had just one game. They had a little bit of a COVID possibility situation in their program. They thought they were going to lose the first two games. They ended up not playing the first one, but then they were able to sub Chaska in week 2. Chaska ranked number 1 in Class 5A. The Falcons had a lead on them, ended up losing 19-12. We know Armstrong had a great year last year, undefeated regular season, lost to Elk River in a great battle in their section championship. It's a lot younger team this year, but that first night out showing that they've got some possibilities, some potential on their program still.
Well, you're playing Chaska, who's a powerhouse. They're big and physical. You mentioned they were up 12-0. The other thing to keep in mind with Armstrong is they're starting a sophomore quarterback, Jamin Malone, and he's got a ton of talent, great arm strength, athletic. So you get him his first ever start at the varsity level, too, against the number 1 team in the state. So very good learning experience for him, and I think they felt that leaving that game that they're right there with the best teams in the state.
Park Center, it's been a struggle. They were winless a year ago. They got kind of blown out their first game. They did against Irondale, and then played much better. They had some key mistakes against Holy Angels. They outgained them, those, and got better. They're going to have one big loss tonight. We're going to have Allie talk about that a little bit more here as COVID has reached into the Pirates program just a little bit. And the Pirates will have a little bit different look on their sideline because of that. Let's talk about key players in tonight's game, starting with Armstrong, and really just a couple of starters returning on D, and one of them in their defensive secondary, Rashad Sherwood. Not a bad start. A couple of picks.
2 picks. It's a great confidence booster. You said he started last year on a good team, so he knows what that winning mentality is, what it takes to be an elite team, and having that experience coming back, and then right out of the gate, 2 interceptions. He's going to have to be active tonight. Park Center can throw the ball. They run the ball. They're very athletic. He's going to have to be a playmaker tonight on defense.
And another defensive guy on the other side of the field is Ishmael Conte. He is off to a good start as well for the Pirates.
Well, when you look at a linebacker, you see Ishmael, you see him 20 tackles in two games. So you know he is a ball hawk. He is going to find that ball, and he's going to have to help plug the hole, stop the run tonight. Defensively, Jay, Park Center's got to be better, and it's got to start with that young man right there.
Take a quick time out here and come back with more from Park Center as the Pirates take on Armstrong. And welcome back here to Park Center as the Falcons and Pirates get set to do battle. And joining us from the sideline, or in the stadium anyway tonight, is Allie Mosley.
From the sidelines on the track line here, guys, it is crazy. It is still 2020, which means that it's only natural for things to be wild. So coming into this game, you guys, it is feeling like 25 degrees. It snowed 7 inches just a few days ago. The bleachers are still covered in snow. And guess what else for Park Center? Coach Salas told to quarantine as of yesterday, which means he will not be here to head coach tonight. So in comes defensive coordinator Jack Bighauser, sorry, that's a big last name. I asked him, what's it like getting the start tonight? And he said, oh man, I am so ready. It has been my dream to be a head coach. But it's been a tough start for Park Center. I asked him, being outscored 80-13 points throughout the first 2 games, is that a product of your team or is it a product of the times? And he said it's a product of the times. It is just crazy with COVID, and also we're trying to do a culture shift here. So putting those two together, it's just been tough, but these guys are ready. They are ready in the cold. They are ready to come get this first win on their home turf. Here is kickoff with new head coach B. Bighauser. Guys, let's take it on.
Short kick there fielded by Micah Hoban for Park Center, and the Pirates will have it on their first possession here, starting at about their 27-yard line. They do have a returning starter at quarterback from a year ago, as Marcus Freeman returning as a junior starter, 6'1", 185-pounder, and they're got a good arm. They just looking for a little more consistency out of not just Marcus, but their whole offense, really.
Well, the big thing there is those 4 interceptions. They want to see him make a little bit better decisions, not turning the ball over, and try to get that completion percentage up into those the 60 percentile. But he's got a cannon for an arm.
Fakes a handoff here. Freeman under some pressure, now steps up. Flag is down, as is the quarterback there, as he's dropped by Caden Kemple, another returning player. Probably going to be a hold the way where that flag fell and the way that play developed. Indeed, an offensive hold against Park Center. They ended up with a sack anyway, so not out of the question it would be declined, but it looks like they are accepting the penalty. Yeah, and it came way in the backfield actually too, so this one's kind of a double whammy for Park Center. It's from the spot of the foul.
You know, you talk about being outscored 80-13 in 2 games, and this is part of the reason why, Jay. You get off to a first play of the game, you got a penalty, you immediately put yourself in first and extremely long, so kind of forces your offense to try to make big plays, and when you take chances, that's when those turnovers rear their ugly head.
First and about 25 here for Freeman and the Pirates. Going to go with the handoff here to Hoban, getting around the right edge, and we'll pick up about 5. If it weren't for the big penalty in the first play, you'd say, hey, that's a nice gainer, but they've still got some distance to go. And Coach B. Bighauser said we really need to be able to run the football some tonight. I mean, they're an offense that's looking to sling it around a little bit, but he just felt like we need to be able to establish the run, establish the line of scrimmage a little bit here this evening.
Well, the biggest thing is, as an offense, you never want to be one-dimensional. You want to be able to throw that defense off so they don't know what's coming. And we know the Park Center can throw the football. Freeman with a great arm, but they got to establish the line of scrimmage. They got big size up front. If they can run and execute in the running game, it'll set up their passing that much more.
2nd and 20 now for the Pirates. Freeman again faking the handoff. He'll throw it out into the flat. Chris Frazier on the reception and brought down after a relatively short gain. Sherwood getting out there, Noah Wiesjohn getting out there for the stop for Armstrong.
Yeah, watch Wiesjohn close this down. It looked like there was quite a bit of opening there on that play. And watch him come into your screen there. Great close on the ball. And what looked to be maybe a bigger gain like that, pretty mild gain. And now you set up that 3rd and long. And if you're a defender, you defensive end, your pass rusher, your eyes are lighting up because you know it's a passing down. And this is where we talked about those 2 interceptions on the year for Sherwood. This is where he's looking for that ball too.
Freeman and company looking at a 3rd and 17 on their first possession. Big tight end Madian coming in motion to go to the handoff to Hoban. And Hoban picking up a nice gainer, and he is out over the 30. He'll be short of the first down, but got them to within a couple, maybe 3 yards or so.
Well, you can see Hoban came into the game with 131 yards rushing. He's got great speed, excellent job. See a lot of green jerseys sealing that edge, and then a nice job turning it up the field there. And you can see he's frustrated. He knows he was close to getting that first down.
Zach Jensen on to do the punting here for Park Center. I did not see a flag, but they did stop things.
They were telling someone to get their mouth guard in.
It's a low snap. Jensen able to field it, got it away, but a very short kick, and it does take a good bounce and then hits a Pirate, Edwin Carbo, at about the 48. So about a 18-yard punt, but considering the snap, I guess there wasn't too much more you could expect out of that. So now we'll see Armstrong's offense for the first time, and the sophomore Jamin Malone, and pretty high praise coming from Jack Negan for him. He said he's going to be as good as Jake Breitbach was, and that was their 3-year starter that graduated last year. Is at Gustavus now, and so they really like his potential. Yeah,
they said he's just a gamer. Good arm, strong arm, makes good decisions, also can run the football too, but really athletic, good quarterback.
First down handoff going here to Caleb Jones, who saw a fair amount of time as a back a year ago for the Falcons, and he will pick up about 8 on that first down play.
Yeah, just a nice push. You see those 2 big white jerseys pulling on the play, kicking out D linemen. Nice job. Great push there for the offensive line.
Handoff again going here left side, and carrying tacklers with him is Jones, and he will have the first down with ease after picking up about 11 more here.
Yeah, not great size for Caleb Jones, but you see him, those legs keep chopping and moving. He's getting yards after the contact too. Nothing fancy there, just right up the middle.
Keep it on the ground here. Jones ridden down that time by big David Nyan, 295-pounder, but he still got about 3, maybe 2 on that play.
Yeah, in Park Center, this has been their nemesis from the first 2 games this year, is not being able to stop the rush or the run, giving up well over 200 yards per game on the ground.
You go with the sweep to Jones this time, avoids a tackler there. Jones down the sideline, and there's Conti catching up to him and dragging him down, but it'll be a first down here for the Falcons down inside down to near the 11-yard line, looks like.
Yeah, and right here, there's the missed tackle. You got a defender who wasn't blocked, had a shot at him in the backfield, and that one missed tackle opened up another 15 to 18 yards after that. So Park Center, if you get that guy in space, you got to be able to tackle one-on-one. You cannot miss tackles.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line. They can get a first down short of the end zone here. Armstrong trying to capitalize on its first possession. Malone play action this time. The rush is coming. Now throws on the run, and that one is incomplete as he tried to hook up with Sam Stanislavski.
Yeah, great play call. Been so successful running the football. Little play action, good pressure there in the backfield that time by Park Center, forcing him to get rid of it before he was ready to, good coverage down the field.
Jalen Davis was in pursuit there and forced him to get rid of that one a little quicker than he wanted to. You're running it so successfully, and the temptation is to, we'll just stick with it, but I think it was a good play call.
It was
there.
A great idea, great call.
And now got a whistle here. This, again, does not appear to be a flag, just an equipment warning. So second down and 10 here for the Falcons. Little toss. Ball's on the turf. Trying to scoop it up, and it's going to kick out of bounds there as Eustace McGowan on the reverse. Never really had it. Armstrong's very lucky to keep the ball here.
Well, great pursuit here. I could see it looks like that was Uganda there coming down the line, 52, and you see Davis running it down, and unlucky bounce for Park Center. Dangerous play there. And that ball was never really corralled, and they're lucky that bounced out of bounds.
I'm sure they're telling McGowan, you just got to get on that thing. Yeah. Don't hope for a good bounce in that spot. And I'm not sure if he would have been able to come up with it anyway, but a little hard count there draws Park Center off.
Try to get those loss of yards on that play back.
So it is a 5-yard mark off here against PC.
Well, and you got to figure too, Jay, especially with the weather, it's 4-down territory, obviously, at this point. So you pick up those 5 yards, and now it's 3rd and 9. So you got 2 downs to get 9 yards. That's a big 5 yards on that play. Keep keep an eye on Caden College there, number 14 at the bottom of our screen.
Going to hand it off to Jones, and there's Conti wrapping him up and bringing him down. Very minimal gain on the play, if any.
Oh, what an athletic play. He came right up the middle, running back adjusted, and he immediately adjusted as well, got his hands on him, and there's a reason why he has 20 tackles in the first 2 games. That was just great pursuit right there.
Armstrong, don't expect field goals tonight or probably even extra points. Their kicking game right now is not where they would want it to be. Malone throwing on the run. It is complete, and he finds College there, but he is wrapped up well short of the first down, so Park Center will take over on downs as they're able to get the stop.
Well, great job by James Don, number 11 for Park Center that time, playing deep, saying, hey, I know where that first down marker is. We'll give up some yards, but I don't want anything behind me. Came up, made a sure tackle, and that's a great start for Park Center. Even though you gave up some yards, when it mattered most, you held, and you're getting the ball back for your offense.
So look at Freeman and their offensive group after they had to punt it away the first time. They're pinned deep here at their 4. Here's one where you want to make sure you're ball handling in this kind of spot.
Well, just from field position, you want to have a drive here. Try to get to at least the center of the field so you can shift that field position. You don't want to go 3 and out.
Going to go with the handoff here.
Nice
and a nice cut there by Hoban. And a good solid open field tackle by Rashad Sherwood, but nice gainer. Park Center's best offensive play right there.
Right there, look at that cut to the left, and that's what great running backs do. They make guys miss. You're going to get free tacklers on guys. If you can make that initial guy miss, a lot of times you can get out into the open there. That was a beautiful move.
Gets them out of the shadow of the goalpost a little bit here too at the 15 after an 11-yard pickup. First down of the night here for Park Center. Freeman, dangerous. He finds Maddie in the tight end. That one was very close to being at least tipped, if not intercepted. They will end up picking up about 4 on the play.
Yeah, big number 99 for Armstrong. Mac Olson almost came away with a pick on that one. He saw it coming. He just missed it with his hands. What could have been a pick 6 there ends up turning into some positive yards.
Coach Biebighauser said that Madian wasn't going to play much on D tonight, that they want to kind of showcase him on offense a little bit, and they went to him there. And kind of fortunate that they got 4 out of that one because Armstrong had it read pretty well. 2nd down and 6 here for Freeman and the Pirates. Want to say hi to Coach Jordan Salas, by the way. He's watching tonight. He said, obviously disappointed he can't be here, but handoff going once more to Hoban as he is brought down at about the 22, maybe 23-yard line.
When you got to remember, too, that first possession, Jay, they had that big penalty, but they had some positive runs with Hoban on that first possession, and here they're doing the same, getting good yards. Now you set up a 3rd and manageable. I like the rhythm so far for the Pirate offense.
Important, I think, like you said, they want to get a drive to at least kind of help for field position-wise, but also give their defense a little bit of a rest, too. You don't want to, just sit down to meter a little bit and then all of a sudden, back out you go. Yep. So important possession, I think, for PC, and so far so good. They got a 3rd and about 3 here, though. Going to hand it off, and Hoban is going to get the edge.
Yep.
Over the 40, and he'll step out of bounds just shy of the 45 with Cordell Wilson there to greet him.
It's coming back. They're going to get a hold, I think, on that left outside. It was sealed nicely. I thought I saw maybe a little bit of jersey grab in there, and I think that's what it is.
Yep.
And probably didn't need it either. It looked like Hoban saw that, had a great cut again. He's been very shifty here tonight. And that's big because now you're back to that 3rd and 13. You're going to see I think it's right there.
Yeah, right on the edge.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was Conte.
And I'll tell you what, whenever you lift your arms like that, it's almost like saying, hey, I'm guilty, And it's too bad because I don't think they needed it at all. I think they would have got the first down. But either way, you got to be pleasantly surprised with how they're controlling the line of scrimmage here from an offensive perspective, and great running by Hoban.
Push him all the way back to the 14-yard line, though. So
I'm a big believer, too, after, losing big and only scoring once in those first 2 games. How big for their confidence if they could march down and score first in a game? I think it would be vital for them.
Facing 3rd and 11 now after that holding penalty. Freeman stepping up. Now he runs back into the rush, and he is going to be wrapped up there as he kind of ran around into that one. Olsen in on the stop along with Devin Jones. And that was kind of a good job of containment with their rush where they didn't overrun everything. They just kind of kept him in a little bit of a pocket there.
Look at that bull rush by Mac Olsen. Look at him get down and gets right back up. You love to see that relentlessness as a coach. And Devin Jones not quitting on the play. So it looked like a great drive, all because of that hold. And here they end up almost right where they started the drive from. This is where you got to be tricky. Remember that last snap on the punt was short. And they get a good snap.
Jensen getting it away from out of his end zone. Again, a short kick, and they'll have to get away from it. It'll roll out over the 40 to about the 41-yard line. So, again, all things considered, not too bad. We got a flag down again, it looks like.
Yeah, it came right at the end of the play, too.
Hard to tell based on where, obviously it was kind of away from where the ball ended up.
Yeah, it was thrown late while the ball was bouncing, so I didn't see anything going on at that time. Is that block in the back?
Penalty call going against Armstrong.
There's a personal foul against the Armstrong Falcons.
It looks like something to the back. It was hard to see.
I admit, I don't know that signal.
Yeah. But with that penalty, it ends up being a good punt. They changed the field position a little bit.
So it'll be back to the 44 of Armstrong for Malone and crew after that 15-yard mark off. And that snap didn't come at the right time. I think that one may have been on the center because it looked like everybody else went basically the same time, and the snap was a little slow to take place. Let's go down now to Allie. She has a report.
Yeah, guys, before the game I asked Coach Nagan, what's something that surprised you just given the craziness of this pandemic and not playing football and then getting to play football? And he said, our attendance and transportation has just really impressed me. He said for there being transportation issues of some parents not being able to take their kids to practice, others have really stepped up. When they had the snow day on Tuesday this week, we had all that snow. The next day, Coach said, we're gonna have practice. And he talked with some of the other coaches, and they kind of had a bet going of how many guys are really going to show up, and they guessed maybe around 30. And he said 74 players from the team came and showed up for practice. He said we really didn't get anything accomplished. We kind of just played snowball fights and got in formation, but that's just something indicative of these crazy times, them trying to have a good time despite what's going on.
Nice run here by Malone up the middle after a near interception on the previous play. James Don jumping in front of College and got his fingers on that one, but then Malone ripping off a nice gainer there of about 13.
Watch this ball fake. You can see he rode Freeman there, or excuse me, he rode Jones there really nicely, and at the last second pulled it down.
3rd and 1, they go with the counter to Jones. Slipped a tackle, and he will have enough for the first down here down to about the 45. They almost had a shot to stop him, but not quite.
You got good push that time. Green jerseys in the backfield. David Nyan almost had a tackle for loss, but a very crafty move by Jones there. Good footwork, getting forward, moving the chains.
So Armstrong had a good first drive, but it stalled down deep, and now they're trying to get a march going, but we've got another flag down. This one going to be against the Pirates defensively. Their 4th penalty already. Both teams kind of looking a little early season-ish here in that regard, right?
And I'll tell you, it's a heads-up play by Armstrong, and by Malone, going with the hard count. They're 2 for 2 on it, and now you got 1st and 5. I always like to take shots after a play like that. You got, 1st and short. This is where a little play action I always look to do.
Here is Malone throwing over the middle, and it is caught in the middle of traffic there. A nice grab to kind of reach back for that one a little bit by McGowan, and he's able to haul it in.
Well, tight space, pretty accurate throw. I know they're talking about accuracy with Malone, but look at, he's got people right in his face, throwing off his back foot. And watch this. I mean, he could only put it one spot. Pretty good coverage and a great job using his body by McGowan to catch that ball.
From the 24, Jones cutting through a hole, breaks a tackle, and he's going to walk in for the touchdown. Armstrong will get on the board first as Jones split a gap and then had one tackler that had a shot at him, but he couldn't bring him down.
Well, great balance on that drive. Jones got it a couple times. We saw Malone keep it that one time. So now you got a play action mixed in there. You got a defense not sure what to key on. And that time Caleb Jones did a great job. He made about 4 guys miss. A great cut up the field, and it was off to the races. Good possession there by Armstrong, and to get on the board first here on the road. Hey, they're kicking.
Yeah. Coach Niggin led us to believe they wouldn't even try extra points, but Jairo Martinez Fregosa up for the extra point, and it is good. And so with 2:42 to go here in the first quarter, Armstrong on the board first with a 7-0 lead.
I mean, look at all the green jerseys surrounding him on that run. And that's where you got to be sure tacklers. Right here, it looks like they were going to have them. And then right there, you got 4 green jerseys there coming together. No one wraps them up, and Caleb Jones gets into the end zone.
Jones, one of those guys who got some valuable experience a year ago playing on that team, and they were very senior dominant. I mean, it's a new group, but a young, up-and-coming, talented group is the way Coach Niggin described them.
We did their game last year, Jay. Remember, he had a good game the game we did. He got a few carries and came in, and he showed that he's got that talent, and this is his year, and he's off to a great start. In football, every sport, but football especially, is such a game of momentum. When your defense gets a big play and all of a sudden your offense can come and punch it in for an end zone. Now your defense is even more pumped up, and it's where Park Center's got to turn the tide here. Can they get a big play in special teams? Maybe get a good return, get a big play in the passing. They got to have a big play, a spark to get them going.
Hoban and Ayabamadeli back deep here for Park Center, as Martinez Fregoso getting set to kick this one away. And he's, as you maybe can tell by the build, an offensive lineman when he's not kicking.
He gets a good boot.
Yeah, and got away from Hoban there. He picks it up on the 14. And there's a flag down and another flag. Don't know if they're the same infraction that was spotted or not.
And you got the kicker. Look at him running down there making the tackle on the play too.
Looked like maybe a block in the back, perhaps, going to be the call. And it appeared that they both saw the same thing there. It is indeed an illegal block in the back against Park Center.
Big fella's tired out. A big kick, sprinted down there, help make the tackle. Right there, you can see one right at the 25, and then there was a second one too right there at the 20. I think they were both.
And he reiterated that by the call, and it's showing a decline of one of them, and then the one that occurred back the farthest obviously is the one that they're taking. So it was indeed, like Ryan said, 2 separate penalties. Pirates really hurting themselves with infractions already, 5 penalties. So back to their 9-yard line, for the starting point of this drive at 2:32 to go in the first. Armstrong leading Park Center by a score of 7-0. Freeman going to go with the handoff here to Hoban and runs out of real estate to the short side of the field there. Looks like he'll pick up about, 3 or 4 on the play. Yeah, I could give him 4. They've shown an ability. I mean, Hoban, his runs have all been for at least 4 yards and a couple into double digits, 14 and 11. So
it's the penalties, pushing them back. They've put him in 3rd and 20, 1st and 25.
Freeman slinging it out. That pass is short and maybe just as well that it was. There wasn't much there. Frazier was waiting for it, and he kind of, he kind of short-armed that throw, was trying to get it out quick, and his mechanics got away from him a little bit, but I don't know that would have worked out very well anyway.
And he's got a strong arm. He didn't plant off his back foot and drive that football. That ball hung in the air and then was short. And then you always, as an offensive coordinator, you're worried, was it a backwards pass? Is that a live football? So you always got to make sure when you throw those that you're accurate.
3rd down coming up here for Freeman and the Pirates. Again, they would like to get the ball out a little bit farther at least if they end up having to punt. Blitz coming. He's going to go with the draw to Hoban. And hanging around his ankles there was Devin Jones, and this will bring up a punting situation here.
Well, almost got through on that. You could see the blitz coming by the Falcons there, and they had a good play call, that draw, and just a kind of great saving tackle there, not getting any more yards. It's going to set up about 4th and 3, again with a short field here.
Jordan McClom and Rashad Sherwood back deep as Jensen comes on to punt. McClom had a kickoff return for a touchdown last week against Chaska. He's new to the program, but Jack Niggin had a lot of praise for him. He said he's a great kid and a really talented player too, so a good addition to the Falcons team. Timeout requested here by Park Center. Well, our play of the week on CCX is back, as each Monday we put 4 new plays up on our website, ccxmedia.org, and you, the viewers, vote to decide the winners. We've had some good ones here as kind of obviously a strange start to the fall season with volleyball and football joining the fray midway through after soccer and cross country and tennis and swimming had already gotten going. So it's been obviously a very different year, but we appreciate all the support, and I know the kids are excited about when they get on there and be a good chance to get some votes in this next week here. Jensen, this time plenty of time. Armstrong trying to set up a return. Very high, short punt. Sherwood electing not to try and grab that one, and possibly wisely so. It'll be about a 31-yard punt. And Armstrong, the field position just kind of gets a little bit better and better, and this time they'll start in the Pirates' end of the field.
So my question for play of the week, can you vote multiple times? So can a kid and his family vote over and over for themselves, or how does that work?
It's set up, I believe you can do 1 per day. I want to say there is some safeguard in there so that you're not just sitting there clicking over and over and over and over again. But it'll be at the 49-yard line, actually, is where they'll end up spotting. I thought the Pirates had actually touched it down a little bit sooner than that, but back at the 49 as Malone comes out. He's got the hands in the pockets with the hand warmers. It's not especially warm, but the good news is not terribly windy, and we're not having precipitation
snow,
like the last couple nights. Malone, plenty of time, looking deep downfield, and it's caught.
What a catch.
Touchdown, Peyton Newbern.
Wow.
49-yard strike.
Well, you can see why they like the kid at quarterback, Jamin Malone, with a strong arm, and what an athletic grab by Newbern, too. I thought that ball, originally when it got close to him, looked like it was going to be too high or overthrown, but great athleticism. went up and grabbed it high and then pulled away. What a play. Great play call. You get a short field, you go for a home run, and well executed. Great confidence builder, too, for a sophomore quarterback.
Yeah, and there was plenty of time. I don't think Park Center was expecting pass there. They didn't have much of a rush coming at all. He just had time to pick him out. And I agree with you. I thought it was going to get over his head. I thought it was going to be a near miss. Newbern really showing great hands to reach up for that one.
Extra point good again, too. Yeah, Newbern looked like he had slowed down a little bit and then just leaped up into the air. Made a great athletic catch for a 49-yard touchdown. We might have a Play of the Week nomination there. Here, no play action at all, well protected and showing off a strong arm. And right there, beautiful adjustment on the ball. He kind of cut his route watch at the end here. It looks like it was, yeah, nice clean pocket. And just a really nice job of altering his angle there, going up and getting it. You can see how Armstrong fired up. Couple nice throws so far on the night for Jamin Malone.
Make it a 14-0 lead with 1:24 to go here in this first quarter at Park Center's home field. Pirates hurting themselves with penalties early on in this one. Their offense, showing signs of getting some things going a little bit here and there, especially in the run game. But now they just want to get a little bit of consistency to some drives and eliminate the flags.
Yep.
Iabomadelli waiting back deep along with Hoban.
They need spark, Jay. They need energy and spark. You can kind of see you get a feel they're thinking, oh, here we go again. We're getting routed. They need a big play.
Hoban bobbled it but picks it up. And right up the gut he goes. Yeah. And a nice return, and he is not down yet. Hoban out over midfield, and maybe that's the spark that they needed right there.
Great effort. I thought he was tackled about 3 different times and just kept going. Beautiful return.
And if you're Armstrong, the problem is they thought he was tackled too. Yeah. Some of the other guys didn't really keep coming. They thought, okay, my teammate's got him.
Right
I can kind
there,
of slow
it looked
down.
like he was down. Look at him keep those legs going. Great balance. And even here, look at all the white jerseys. You see green jersey, kind of a tug-of-war match and pushing forward. Great return. Gave them a little spark. They got good field position here. See if their offense can capitalize.
About a 43-yard return there for Hoban. He gets a little bit of a breather. But there's why in high school football you'll often see the best running backs back there receiving kicks, because just for a spot like that.
Yep.
At the 44 of Armstrong, best field position by far for the Pirates. Freeman faking the handoff. Now he wants to answer with a deep shot downfield, and that's going to be a flag. They got all turned around. Cordell Wilson was back there defending against Frazier, and kind of an unfortunate one for the DB because the ball was clearly way underthrown, but he did impede him from trying to come back to the ball.
Well, I love the play call going for it. After a big return like that, they go right at it, showing off the strong arm there by Freeman. Yeah, and I mean, pretty well defended down the field. That ball just, because of where it was thrown, the receiver kind of adjusted and went right. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if that was a penalty, Jay. That was pretty well defended. I tell you what, referees will get you when you don't turn your head around and make an attempt on the ball, and I think that's what happened.
29-yard line.
Spotted on the 29 now. First down and 10 here for the Pirates. Obviously not like in the NFL where that's a spot foul. It would be even bigger. Handoff here going to Hoban, who's back in there, and he is met 4 different Falcons coming up. Jordan McClellan didn't get the tackle, but he sealed the edge nice and made him cut back.
And that's exactly what you do in practice. You seal the edge, you force the cutback, and then you got great team pursuit coming down the line, making that play. Well defended.
And defensive coaches, are obviously, they'll talk about that. Here's where you plant your shoulder. Nothing gets outside of you. Repeat, nothing gets outside of you. And that's what he was able to do there, force Hoban back in.
Yeah, they did a nice job there. Great team defense. That's a great thing about football with 11 guys. Everyone has to do their job for it to really work. And like you said, McClellan might not get credit for the tackle, but he did his job and it allowed his teammates to do their job.
About a 3-yard loss here. Could be the last play of the quarter. Handoff going to Hoban. Picks his way through there. Ooh, and he got rocked by Sean Wright.
Wow.
All of a sudden, that might have been the biggest hit of that first quarter, I think, right there. So the quarter will come to an end. And our score after one is Armstrong 14, Park Center nothing. We'll be back with more football here in just a moment on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Injury there to end the quarter, unfortunately, for the Pirates. As Hoban down.
Yeah, that's not good to see. He did take that was a big hit there at the end of that run. He's been absolutely phenomenal tonight. Really the only spark for the Park Center offense and in the kickoff return game as well. Certainly hope it's nothing serious.
Be a 3rd and about 9 here for the Pirates from Armstrong's 28, trying to battle back from a 14-0 deficit here as we jump into quarter number 2. Freeman steps in away from the rush, now in trouble, spun away, but is not quite going to be able to escape as Cade Kemple hanging on. He was able to get out of Sean Wright's grasp. Wright was the one who had the big hit on Hoban, but then Kemple coming in and staying with it, and it'll be a loss of about 3 on the sack.
Well, here's that play that Hoban got hurt on there. Let's see if we can see. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oof, in the
helmet right to his
jaw.
Chin, yeah. Oh, that's a collision. Certainly hope it's wow.
Oh, we got a flag down here on the play.
Oh, personal foul against Armstrong.
Foul on Armstrong there.
That's big because that keeps the drive going here, gives them a first down at the 15-yard line. That is huge.
Well, and to be honest, that previous play that we just showed you quite easily could have been a penalty as well. I didn't really notice it the first time around. It just looked like a big, high, clean hit, but it was helmet into the chin. So from the 15-yard line now, still got Hamel Blay on the handoff that time for the Pirates.
Well, it'll be interesting to see for the Pirates here who steps up, running the football. Micah Hoban, obviously their horse and talented running back. They're going to need someone to fill those shoes and be electric. They got a great scoring opportunity here in the red zone. They've had some positive plays, that great kickoff return by Hoban. Can they capitalize here and punch it in?
Blay, a pretty good size junior at about 210.
Yeah, a little more power there between the tackles.
Freeman faking the handoff. Now the pass is intercepted by Sherwood. Rashad Sherwood, his 3rd pick already this year, and just shoved out of bounds, or he might have been gone up the sideline. He'll be knocked out at about the 32, and Armstrong will get the football back.
Well, you can tell not only has he got great hands and anticipation, but he doesn't just intercept it, Jay. He's trying to take it to the house. He knew what to do with it right when he got it.
Did have a flag on the play. See if this might be an illegal procedure call against Park Center. Also a hold against Park Center. Those will be declined.
Yeah.
So the result of the play, of course, is the interception for Mr. Rashad Sherwood. I like too when we pick a guy to praise in the pregame and they actually do it. We don't jinx it. We don't have lead to their worst night of the season or anything like that.
No, it's no accident too. Though you have 3 interceptions in 2 games, you know what you're doing. Great position there. He kind of jumped the route, and that's a throw with Freeman that you got to either keep that. You can't turn it over when you got a chance to score. You're down 14-0. You've had the first time really all game you've had a chance to punch it in. The last thing you want to do is turn that ball over.
I had a chance to talk to Sherwood before the season too, and he said, there's a lot of young guys and a lot of new faces in our lineup, but he said, I like the talent. He said, you'll be impressed. He said, some of these guys that haven't been on the varsity or maybe haven't been starters before are better than what some people might think.
Well, I'll tell you, I think I'm a big believer, Jay, that success breeds success. And Armstrong's had a couple years of successful football as you take a look at the Park Center defensive starters. But when you're around success, even if you're not starting or you're in the younger grade, you're watching it and you want to be a part of it.
Malone keeping it there, and he ran into a little bit of a rough ride as Kamari Watson and Jalen Davis combining to yank him down after a short pickup there, a yard, maybe 2. After the nice first down run by Jones. And we've got a flag down on the play here.
Yep.
Boy, we've seen a lot of flags in this first half, huh?
Well, it's going to be the 3rd time we've seen offsides on the Pirate defense, and that's huge because that's either a first down or it's going to be.
I think it will be
right at the first down, yeah. So you go. We've seen some missed tackles, but we've seen penalties really play a role against the Pirates tonight, both offensively and defensively. And there you give Armstrong a free first down.
So football at the 42. Malone rolling to his right now, throwing, and is able to find his receiver, College. Not a huge gain, but about maybe 6 or so. Oh, it looks like they're going to spot it back.
Oh, I thought they'd give him forward progress where he caught it
too.
there. I'll tell you what was impressive about that play, though, more than anything, was Malone. He was fast, sprinting to the right, but his head was up. He was downfield, and he didn't force it. He made the right read there. Beautiful play for a young quarterback.
Handoff to Jones, brought down there by Jason Hendricks, just shy of the 50 at about the 49.
In that first game for Armstrong, Malone was 10 for 26. Tonight, showing a lot better poise, a lot better accuracy, too. And that's not always easy for young quarterbacks to develop. You only get it in game experience. So he looks like he learned from last week and has been really sharp here tonight.
Going with a little up-tempo offense here, trying to wear Park Center down a little bit, this time taking a little more time between plays. Fake the handoff to Jones, and Malone spun out of the first tackle, but he's going to be wrapped up and dropped for a loss.
Yeah, big David Nyan, number 75, was right there waiting. Nice job, nice play up the middle. This will be interesting to see. 4th and about 4, midfield with a 14-point lead. Are they going to go for it? I would think so.
Lining up that way. They've obviously had some success drawing Park Center offside too, so that might be what they're really looking at here. Now they are going to snap it and go, and Jones takes the handoff, and he will pick up the first down. Wow, confidence in your O-line and your running back there.
Well, he's had every play he's touched the ball. He's had positive yards, big plays, Caleb Jones, and 4th and 4, nothing fancy, doing what we're doing. We're trusting our offensive line. They got a great push. And Caleb Jones, he hits that hole hard. He north and south in a hurry. Impressive running back.
Boy, that's gutsy when you think you can get 4th and 4 on a handoff up the middle in your own end of the field, just barely, and they got it.
And it's a statement, too. It's 14-0. We feel like we can do whatever we want, whenever we want.
Malone connecting with Newburn. He's going to sprint through the middle of the D and go for the touchdown. 47 yards this time.
He looks like a gazelle out there when he's in the open field. He's got those long arms, those long strides, And I love the play design and the play call, Jay. It's a nice, easy throw for your young quarterback. And what I love is Malone, he got some zip on it, and he put it right in Newbern's hands on stride. He didn't have to alter his body or slow down. And Newbern, he's had a big game. He saw that athletic catch earlier for a 49-yard touchdown here. Catches a little slant across the middle, and he's got those long strides into the end zone.
I think for Park Center there, your disappointment isn't so much allowing the completion, but allowing him to run right through your secondary and go all the way. Yeah. They didn't have great angles. This kick is not going to get there, so that one will be short of the mark, and we stay at 20-0 Armstrong here with 7:15 to go in quarter number 2. Big night for those guys, Malone and Newbern.
Yeah, let's just see a nice, look at him look off right down the middle, accurate throw. And again, I think you're watching a young star develop. Look at this slide, great read, bam, right in between two Park Center defenders. I mean, accuracy, had zip on it, and then just those long strides. You know, kind of reminds me when you watch Randy Moss run. You know, he had those long legs. And anytime I tell our young quarterbacks all the time, you want to hit someone, you want to hit them in stride so they can keep their speed and their pace going. If he has to alter it anyway, he's going to get caught. Instead, great pass.
And the guy to Newbern's left there, Eustace McGowan, will get a little love in the film room, I think, too. Wide receiver, when he saw that ball being caught, he turned and got a little bit of a block. Just it wasn't anything huge, but it might have been enough to help to spring that one as well.
But, I mean, how big for a young quarterback in making his second start to have these kind of stats and accuracy? You talk about a confidence builder and what it could do for him the rest of the year, and not only for him but his team. You know, I think everyone, you always question when you got a young guy starting, is he ready for this? And he's certainly answered the bell here tonight. So I think it's a big confidence boost for that whole Falcon offense.
Going to keep this kick dribbling on the ground and a sliding play to field it at the 30 for Park Center as it's covered by Thomas Hansen.
Well, one thing I've been looking forward to see if we see number 7, Micah Hoban, back on the field. He was not on that kickoff return. I don't see him in that huddle, so wondering if he didn't have some type of head injury and might be done for the night. And obviously a big loss for the Pirates. He's a talented running back who is having a really good game here, too. Maybe the lone bright spot for the Pirates.
Well, and sometimes people, there he is on the sideline, people kind of forget about that a concussion can definitely happen from a shot to the jaw like that or to the chin.
Yep.
You think, obviously, boxers
you can get them
shots like that.
And the other one is when this turf is cold like that, Jay, it's when you get your head slammed on the ground. Sometimes you're just in the midst of a block or a tackle. So you're absolutely right. They can come in many different forms.
Freeman faking the handoff, looking to throw on the run, and he's able to find his man there. And not Blay that time. It's Keaton Lawson on the reception and able to get the first down.
Well, a couple things I like. The little pump fake by Freeman here to kind of buy right there, and then a nice accurate throw on the run. And I love to see the way Lawson finished that run. You love to see big fellas. They don't want to go out of bounds, trying to fight for that extra yard. And you need, like we said, you need that positivity here for the Pirates. A big play, something they can get excited about and rally around.
From the 42, low snap, and then Freeman juggled a little bit, and now he's just got to try to get what he can, and he's going to go out of bounds, and that's going to be a flag on Armstrong. Bad mistake for the Falcons. They just needed to let go there and didn't, and ended up taking Freeman down. And yeah, you're apologizing now, but it's too late. You made the crucial mistake.
Yeah, and that would have been a loss on the play too. You can see the low snap, play kind of undeveloped there, nowhere to go.
Yeah, he just stayed with it. I mean, yes, he ultimately let go, but you were 5 yards out of bounds by that point.
Yeah. And, you know, on the Armstrong side, you might be thinking, well, what's the big deal? We're probably got this game wrapped up already. But you're always building. So you mentally, you want to make sure you're smart, making the right plays, because there's going to be a game that's going to be tight, and you don't want to have a penalty like that. So you're constantly teaching young guys how to make the right plays, right decisions. And I know it's hard when your momentum's flying over like that, but you just got to let go.
On the 46, Freeman chased out, and he fires that one down low. There wasn't a lot of space to try and get that one, and he was kind of throwing that one away, I think, there. But as Samuel Knowles was mirroring him there and did a pretty good job of not getting faked out as a D lineman, he kind of stayed, kept his balance and made Freeman aware of his presence and not just charging past him and allowing an easy throw there.
And not only that, but he's got good height. That's hard for a shorter quarterback. Well, not short, but 6'1", trying to throw over a 6'4" guy. Hard to do while you're on the run.
2nd and 10 as Madian comes in motion here. And off goes to Blay, and that one really goes nowhere. Good penetration. Cade Kemple getting in there first for the Falcons. And it'll be 3rd and long here for Park Center as we approach the halfway point of quarter number 2. Armstrong leading at 20-0. And all long touchdowns are fairly long. Jones a 24-yard run, and then 49 and 47-yard passes to Newbern from Malone have led to this lead here for the Falcons.
And Kemple came in with 10 tackles in that game against Chaska last week, so he's a great linebacker. We've seen him involved in a lot of the stops here already tonight, so another good linebacker on this side of the ball as well.
Here's the 3rd down and 10. Falcons showing blitz. Picked up pretty well. Freeman throwing. It's complete to Frazier, and he'll be shoved out of bounds. Going to be short of the first down, but a decent gainer.
And that's a play you can build off of. You could see Armstrong bring in pressure. Park Center did a nice job of picking it up, and I love to see Marcus Freeman just hang tough in the pocket there, and he kind of threw his receiver open. Knowing that guys are coming, that's a long throw. He was able to get his body into it. That was a nice play to set up a 4th and manageable here as opposed to a 4th and long.
About 3 yards to go for the first down as Wiesjohn caught up to him and at least kept him from getting the first down, but a very nice positive play here. So 4th and 3 here for Park Center. Pretty important play in this game as they try and, work their way back into it, down 20-0. Good time again. Freeman looking downfield. Now he's going to step up and run for it. Freeman got out of a tackle, broke another.
He got it.
And Freeman working his way down close to the 30-yard line. Nice run, and we'll pick it up.
That was just a great individual effort of someone that was not going to be stopped. Armstrong had about 4 or 5 shots at him. He just did a great job making guys miss and getting that first down. That was a big play.
Coach Biebighauser said, we're looking for him to pick his spots running the ball some too. We think he can be a weapon in that regard. And right there, here's where I thought they might get him but Kemple couldn't reach.
Spin. Yeah, he made 2 guys miss. Great spin move. That was a heck of an individual effort by that young man to pick up that first down. He doesn't get that. Now you give Armstrong great field position again.
At the 31 of Armstrong, juggled it and got the handoff away, and Blay trying to break out of it. He eventually broke out, but the whistle had already sounded. And Park Center kind of now griping, but at the same time, if you're Armstrong, they did kind of stop, I think, when they heard the whistle. It'd be a short loss on the play. Blay saying, hey, they never had me down, but once your progress is stopped like that.
That's the right call.
Pirates trying to get on the board for the first time here, trailing it by 20, but a key 4th down conversion by that guy, Marcus Freeman, and now facing a 2nd and 11. Fake the handoff. Freeman got away from the first wave. And an open field tackle there by Drew Kemple, the sophomore, Cade's younger brother.
Good poise that time by Freeman, realizing the pocket was collapsing and showing off his speed. They're able to get outside, picked up 3 yards on the play. Good coverage down the field, nothing open. And Kemple with a really nice tackle from behind. He doesn't make that play. There's some yardage out in front of Freeman there.
Yeah, I was thinking that one was going to wind up being a bigger gain than what it turned out. So a 3rd down and 8 now on the 29 of Armstrong here for Freeman and crew. Has plenty of time. Again, that long throw to the wide side, and it is intercepted. Hanging on was Connor Bursey, as that time the ball hung a little bit, and Freeman will be picked off for the 2nd time tonight.
I don't know if that ball slipped or what. That one, very lofty pass. Let's see if it came out of his hand funny.
Yeah, it looked like he kind of got under the ball a little bit. He wasn't really on top of it. And Frazier tried to kind of wrestle it free there. Bursey didn't have a great grip on it at first, but
nice
he was
job
able
just
to hang
on to it. And you can see on the jerseys, it's wet out there. I mean, that field, obviously the snow is off, but it's a wet field. That ball gets wet. It can be hard to grip. And you can see everyone talking to Freeman. He had a couple of great plays on that drive. That ball just looked like it slipped out of his hand.
Equipment issue again here, it looks like.
Well, we've had 3 of those here in the first half.
So here we go from the 30. A little bit of a low snap, but he gets the handoff away to Jones, and look out,
gone.
Jones into the secondary, and he might go. 70 yards this time for the touchdown for the Falcons.
Wow.
Touchdown Falcons.
Nothing fancy, nothing new. A play they've run quite successful here tonight. And again, there's a couple of green jerseys there. He's able to split right through them and showing some great speed once he's able to get to that 2nd level, able to take it all the way to the house. That's his 2nd touchdown run here of the first half. So 2 touchdown passes, 2 touchdown runs. Good balance for this Falcon offense. And they're going to go for 2 here, try to get that missed extra point back.
Malone brings McGowan in motion, pitches it to him. McGowan trying to cut it up. Ooh, and Conte rides him down hard and will stop him short of the end zone. So again, the conversion fails, and it will stay 26-0 in favor of Armstrong here with a little over 3 minutes to go here in this first half.
Here's a look at that touchdown run. Nice cut, and right there again, it looks like there was some chances for some tackles. He was able to, nice right to left cut, and goes north and south really nicely. He's got that fast stride, and no one was going to catch him. So Armstrong's fired up.
Well, he's trying to match Newbern for who's had the biggest plays here tonight, and they have had an outstanding first half here, and obviously their defense has played well again. And
oh, that's not a bad, you just look at those 2 carries there, 94 yards in 2 plays, so 47 yard per attempt on his touchdowns, pretty good.
Martinez will kick it off here again for the Falcons. Frazier and Ayabamadeli waiting back deep. Ayabamadeli will field it on the 20, looking to get to that right edge. Now cutting it up, he did step out just over the 40.
He had some electric speed though when he got the ball there. That was very nice return. Give him pretty good field position here too.
And certainly some time to get something going here down the stretch. Got a couple of timeouts to work with. And
3 minutes, plenty of time. See if you can get something positive before you head into the locker room at halftime.
Next week, the big rivalry is Maple Grove and Osseo. Both off to a pretty good start. I think Osseo has shown some improvement this year. They thumped Anoka in the first game, which, okay, they were maybe not the strongest, but they had a really good battle with Champlain Park last week and lost just by a touchdown. So, and Maple Grove's off to a very good start. They've got some good young talent. Here's Freeman looking to get free, and he won't here as too many. I don't know if that was kind of a busted play. It didn't get off to a great start, and he was kind of in trouble right from the get-go there.
I don't see receivers down the field, so almost like it was a designed run that way, but almost like Freeman wasn't quite sure what he was doing with that. And, yeah, just a slower developing play. Armstrong, great penetration, just nowhere to go.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't so much indecision as just that he didn't see any holes, and he kind of wanted to wait until there was something to pop free a little bit. And then he just right there slapped 5 a little bit with Blay, like perhaps Blay didn't go where he was expecting to on that one, maybe. 2nd and 13. This time Blay does take the handoff and tripped up. Reaching out was Cade Kemple, number 5, to get a piece of him. Otherwise, that one had possibilities of going for a little bit.
Oh. Well, Kemple saw his younger brother make a shoestring tackle early last possession. That time he does the same.
We got a late flag on this one too, and I think it's going to be a little personal foul type situation perhaps, or unsportsmanlike.
The question is, who was it on? I think something happened and then there was a retaliation, so it'll be interesting to see who the referees pin this one on.
Well, and he's got the hat off, which means he saw 2 different things. I think first you throw the flag, and when you've already expired your use of the flag, then your hat comes next. So he's explaining what exactly he saw. There was definitely some action after the play. See what we're going to end up with for a call here, or calls. Yeah, you got 2 fouls. Personal foul against Park Center, and then unsportsmanlike against Park Center as well.
Yeah, let's watch the top of our screen here. They said 73, so see
right there as he keeps going. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and then he kind of kneed into him a little bit. Although I don't know. The first part they seem to kind of both be continuing through the whistle a little bit.
I think when you knee someone and get on top of them like that, and it looked like it was still continuing even after that.
Yeah. I know you want to get this right, but you can't be chatting for 5 minutes during the middle of a game. Let's go.
Well, here's towards the end of it. So you can see both players definitely going down to the ground. He's sitting on him. He must have said something there, too, at the end. You see the hat went off after that, so there must have been something said. James Parker down there.
Easy to see that you might be a little bit frustrated in a game like this, but you kind of got to keep it together. So 2 15-yarders, as we said, the fact that it was 2 separate penalties like that is doubly problematic for the Pirates.
Well, what do we got, about 2nd and 36, 2nd and 37?
I can't add that high, Ryan. I'm going to have to rely on you to figure it out here. Up on the board, they've got 38 yards to go.
That's a tough down and distance.
Freeman looking to run, got away from 1 and 2, but not the third guy, as Knowles able to drag him down. We have, believe it or not, another flag down.
Yeah, Knowles and Mac Olson both have had really good first halves for the Armstrong defensive line.
Had a timeout taken, but also there was a flag down. They're going to put some more time back on.
Minute 58 on it.
I thought there was a flag, but perhaps not. Just the timeout, granted.
Who called the timeout?
Must have been Armstrong, I would think.
Well, and now it's showing 4th down. Wasn't it just 2nd down?
I think that play counted, so the penalty was after
so
the
it was
play.
3rd down, so they were wrong on the last one. Okay.
That's my guess, because Park Center does have the punt team out. Jensen, they're having trouble getting the clock reset to where they wanted it. Well, this was a good game for a little while. not so fun this last few minutes. Flags on every play, conferences, and
there, it looks like we got it.
all right, now we're ready to go. Good snap. Jensen will get the kick away and
good bunt.
Got a lot on it. Dropping it was McClom, and it's recovered by the Pirates.
Wow.
Hansen on the recovery.
Big play. Well, I know Park Center, you're taught to just get on that ball. If they could have scooped that one too, Jay, they would have had a touchdown. But either way, big turnover there, and big positive play for the Pirates. That was a heck of a punt, too.
Well, it's making me think the wind
is really going
is stronger than we saw those kicks.
Yep.
And drifting back there, McClom, he took a look up to see what was coming, and that proved to be his downfall.
A nice job by Thomas Hansen getting on that ball, recovering it.
Timeout taken here by Park Center.
That's a great boot. And that's one thing. I mean, it's hard. You don't see a lot of high, deep, good hang time punts like that at nighttime. You're not used to seeing it with the lights. So that was a great punt. Really about the first thing tonight for Armstrong that hasn't gone their way, or a mistake that they've made.
It'll give Park Center the football at the 35 of Armstrong, and still time to go. A little under 2 minutes. They've only got the one timeout remaining now, but and like you talked about earlier, you kind of want to go into the half with just something to build off of.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they used the timeout right here out of the turnover there. You'd like to keep that second timeout to have, but maybe you want to make sure you get the right play call, get the right personnel in place here, and see if Park Center can capitalize off of that big play.
Freeman rolling out to his right, throwing, and that one is incomplete. Frazier reaching up, couldn't quite get it. Throw was a little high, although it looked like possibly catchable.
Good coverage too by Drew Kemple, and that's the thing. Armstrong's done a nice job. There just hasn't been a lot open down the field either. Good coverage in the secondary. You combine that with a pretty good pass rush too. Just nowhere for Marcus Freeman to go with that ball.
Bring up a 2nd and 10 now for Armstrong. Or for Park Center, excuse me. Blitz coming. Kemple in on Freeman. Oh, and just out of the fingertips. Actually, both the defender and the receiver looked like they had a shot at it, and Freeman is hurt. Kemple got to him in a hurry as he came blitzing up the middle, and Freeman kind of jumped to be able to get that ball away, and it left him in a pretty vulnerable spot to be hit hard by Kemple.
Oh, you see the head,
bounced off the turf.
And that hurts, especially when it's cold like that. Hate to see that.
Freeman bounces up. You could see Kemple kind of realized even he was kind of checking on him right after.
Yeah, that's scary. Obviously, you hope he's okay too, but you think about this Pirate offense, Jay, losing Marcus Freeman, Micah Hoban already out of the game with a potential, hit to the head as well. So obviously you just hope for their health, but you also think about this Pirate offense without their two playmakers here too.
Nate Hubbard coming in to replace Freeman here. We'll see if it's for long term or for just a play or two. Flag down. "13 accepted penalties in this game and a few more that weren't." So 3rd and about 15 now. Hubbard's going to run it himself here, and he'll be wrapped up right around the line of scrimmage here as Wright had a hold of him.
Armstrong calls a timeout here, knowing it's 4th down.
With the score where it is and where they're on the field, you'd like to go for it, but at the same time, you got 15 yards to go. I'm sure they're probably, not thinking punt here, but we'll see.
This is the never-ending first half, Jay, with the penalties and stoppage of plays and discussions. Yeah, with minute 10, you see Armstrong with the 1 timeout remaining too. So we've seen their offense and how explosive they've been with some big plays, both in the run game and the passing game. So let's see if they're expecting punt here. It looks like Park Center's kept their offense out on the field.
Hubbard is in fact out there. Hubbard's going to run it himself, and that one will go nowhere as Henry Smith wrapped him up. And so Armstrong will take over on downs, and of course the clock stops on a change of possession like this too.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you wouldn't punt it away there, try to get the at least make Armstrong take the ball at the their short end of the field there, have the whole length of the football field to go. Instead, you give them good field position here at the 40-yard line, stop the clock.
Yeah, and with your backup quarterback in, it kind of had the impression that they maybe weren't confident in throwing the ball downfield with him either. So, kind of a puzzling one.
Yeah, that one didn't have a chance. You got 13, 14 yards to go. Maybe you throw it deep, give some of your playmakers a chance to catch it.
Malone faking the handoff. He's under pressure. Malone getting rid of it. It's a duck up in the air, and it's intercepted. And guess who? It's Hubbard with the pickoff. He's brought down by Ernest Evans, but Nate Hubbard, who just came in at quarterback, makes a play defensively.
He doesn't have too much time to celebrate it. He's got to go back on the field as a quarterback there. But that's one of those plays. Again, this is a young quarterback making his second start, and Jamin Malone, throw it away right there. He does a great job of avoiding the rush. There's where you just throw it away, throw it out of bounds. You're rolling to your left. You're throwing off your back foot. You know you can't get a lot into that throw. With a minute left, you live to get the next play there. Trying to make a play. You don't fault his effort. Beautiful effort, but nice job. Nice play that time by Nate Hubbard.
Thank Coach Negan explaining exactly that right now. You got to know the scenario a little bit there. Hubbard now looking to throw, and he's going to loft one deep downfield into traffic, and that one was nearly picked off as Jordan McClom had both hands on it but couldn't quite bring it in.
Well, but I love the play call there. Go for it. Absolutely go for it. Showing off a nice strong arm here by Hubbard. Again, good coverage down the field there. It's kind of just a jump ball situation.
Hard to imagine that somebody didn't run slightly the wrong route, because those guys
Two
wound up
receivers
right
next
together.
to each other,
And that brought a lot of defenders into the vicinity as well. And I thought McClom was going to get that one. He timed it nicely, but I think he kind of got his hands hit a little bit as he reached up. And Hubbard holding his elbow a little bit. I suppose he didn't get a lot of warm-up time or anything, and he let that one go a long distance.
Yep.
Be a 2nd down and 10, and they're going to use a timeout. This will be their last timeout. Park Center, and not even when they haven't had to use timeouts, every play they must have used virtually every of the play clock. I mean, they are going at a snail's pace between plays too. I think there's some expectation that we're going to see some of that, though, this season. I mean, it's been so strange. There's not going to be a season. Then there's going to be a season. You got a couple of weeks to prepare, and obviously it's tough on programs too when your summer was very interrupted as well, which is in this day and age when you do put most of your stuff in.
Well, your preparation, obviously, but then also I keep in mind with injuries, guys didn't have their full, spring training, if you will, of getting ready and getting scrimmages in. So I always thought I'd keep an eye for injuries and teams being prepared, and you're seeing the rustiness on both sides.
2nd down and 10 now for Hubbard. Going to take off and run it to the left side here. He's forced out wide by Wiesjohn. He'll stretch that ball out, maybe get a yard or two out of it. For the Pirates there, it's hard to say whether it was a good idea to go out of bounds and stop the clock or not there, because you don't want to give Armstrong the football back here either. It'll be 3rd and 9. Hubbard will hand it off here. Blay
nice
is
play.
Tripped up.
Nice tackle.
Almost got out of that one, but Wiesjohn got enough of him to bring him down.
And he really closed there from the defensive backfield. It looked like there might be an opening there. Nice job sealing there by the offensive line, but a nice tackle as well.
Clock continues to tick here. I think they're just going to let it.
Look at Wiesjohn come. He avoids a blocker there and just hung on for dear life there, making that tackle.
So we are going to tick down to halftime here. Armstrong has dominated the first half as he has Falcons 4 touchdowns in the first half, 26-point lead at halftime as Jones and Newbern each with a couple of touchdowns here in this first half, and overall kind of a lot of fits and starts to this one, Ryan, but pretty dominant first half by those guys in the white uniforms.
No, we've seen some great performances, big touchdown plays too, nothing short. 24-yard touchdown run. We had a long 70-yard touchdown run by Jones, and then Newbern with a couple of great touchdown catches, great athleticism, and really just a dominant first half for the Falcons.
Got the band out here as well this evening as teams making their way. Obviously, halftime scenarios are different for the coaches and teams this year, too. You're not going all into a big locker room together or anything like that.
And on a day like today with the weather, you used to look forward to being in that locker room to get warm again. And
Let's go down to Allie.
Thanks, guys. Coach, you guys really needed something positive to happen there going into half. You had that punt recovery, you had the interception. What else did you like despite a struggling first half?
We're playing hard, okay? So that's easy. We're playing hard, we're playing as a team, but we have a lot of mistakes we got to correct at half here.
You're a big defensive guy. You see the big, kind of drop in the score here. Yeah. What are you guys going to bring to the table? What do you go tell these guys to come out and turn it around?
We're going to go back to the basics. We're just going to go back to what we know. Just keep it simple. Just reiterate what we need to do. Be simple.
And what are your thoughts on Hoban and your starting quarterback?
Mike is a big loss. That's a hard one. I think Marcus will be fine. I think he just got a little shooken up, but we'll be good.
All right, Coach. We'll talk to your boys.
Appreciate you.
Guys?
Thanks very much, Allie, and thanks to Coach Jack Biebighauser, as we said earlier, had to take over tonight. Jordan Salas not here, precautionary quarantine with a possible COVID exposure. So, Coach Salas, we miss you tonight, but Jack Biebighauser stepping in. Band performing, as we said, here at halftime. 26-0 Falcons. We'll come back with more here on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
And welcome back here. A chilly night for football. Armstrong leading Park Center 26-0 here at halftime of this one in the Suburban Blue sub-district, as we take a look at some of the highlights from the opening half of play and some big plays, and mainly for the Falcons here as Jones starting the scoring here.
Yeah, look at all those missed tackles there. Just did a great job of bursting through the seam into the end zone. That will put him on the board. First and 2 for that young man.
And it wasn't too much later that they strike again. First play of the drive, Newbern adjusting well to that long throw from Malone, 49-yard strike, and they were up 14-zip after a quarter.
A little dancing there after 2.
And Hoban had a nice return. We thought at the time, well, maybe this will help spark Park Center. And unfortunately, he left with an injury a little bit later, too.
He really had a good game, a good half. He had a couple of really nice runs. There was a big kickoff return there, and ended up having to leave. And their offense really wasn't the same after he had to go out of the game. This is an interception, I believe.
Yeah, Sherwood jumping in to pick that one off. Already 3 interceptions this season for Rashad Sherwood.
And he knows what to do with it, too, after he gets that. And then that set up this one. Nice slant right up the middle. Newbern, look at those strides. Outruns everyone in green. Nice little turnout to the left there into the end zone. His second touchdown of the game as well.
47 yards, that one covered. And their big plays were not done at that point either. Here's Park Center getting one out, and another interception as Connor Bursey coming up with the pick there for Armstrong, and then They hand it off to Jones, and he got one good block at the beginning, and then he was gone.
Yeah, nothing fancy. Great kick-out block there, and Jones doing the rest of it. Great speed.
That one covering 70 yards for Jones, so obviously he had a great first half, even just on the 2 touchdowns, as Ryan said.
This was a big play, too, here. This was a big punt and a turnover here for Armstrong, and he thought maybe Park Center with that great field position, there was still plenty of time left in the half there. They might be able to capitalize on that. Unfortunately, their quarterback ended up leaving the game, and that big loss for them. And then here's a young quarterback still learning, trying to make a play. You love the effort, you love the toughness, trying to extend that play, but making a throw, obviously didn't get enough on it, and a nice interception that time by Nate Hubbard, also serving as the backup quarterback.
Look at the stats favoring Armstrong pretty heavily in that first half. A couple of turnovers for both teams, as we saw there, and penalties have been very big in this game, even more so against Park Center, but Armstrong definitely had some that have very much hurt them as well. It's been a flag fest in the first half.
The thing I look at, too, offensively, 280 yards, but look at the balance for Armstrong. Over 150 yards rushing, also over 120 yards passing, so great balance running and throwing the football offensively in the first half.
We will step aside for a moment and come back with more of our live coverage here of high school football on CCX. Armstrong leading Park Center 26-0.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.
Tuesday snow was just going to turn around and melt right away. I think we all found out the hard way that wasn't the case. Unseasonably cold temperatures after the snow. The field's in good shape, but they obviously had to get out and do some work to push the snow off of this field. And some of the others, just having turf field by itself isn't enough to make it playable. You got to go out and do some work on it, and they obviously did.
And what's crazy is 2 weeks ago on a Sunday, and coaching my son's football team, it was almost 80 degrees on a Sunday. We had to call timeout to get water breaks. It was so hot, and here we are a couple weeks later, snow on the ground, and it only in Minnesota.
Yeah, I was thinking even last weekend I went to do laundry, and I said, why are there shorts in my laundry? Because just from one weekend to the next, it had gone from shorts weather to definitely not shorts weather anymore. And these teams, obviously with the late start to the season, we're going to be playing into potentially some pretty cold nights. But I think the guys are just happy to be having a season. We're hearing earlier, we haven't talked about it yet, Ryan, we heard earlier this evening that Anoka Hennepin, which is 5 large high schools, is going to apparently be shutting down their sports program a week from Monday. So November 2nd, I believe it would be, after Halloween. So not wonderful news for those kids and those programs, but also the other teams, in the Northwest Suburban Conference, or football-wise, not, some of them playing districts. Having to scramble to find new opponents and everything, and it, sad to say, but it's probably not going to be the last of that kind of thing that we hear as well.
I think everyone, and just in life in general, not only in high school sports and youth sports, but everyone just trying to scramble to figure it out as we go. Obviously, unprecedented times, and you give a lot of credit. Teams having other teams canceling, they're finding games that same day. Not knowing who they're going to play. So I think everyone just thankful that they are still playing if they are, and trying to make the most of it. And you feel for these seniors that have waited their whole lives to be seniors, have a full season, have a chance to win a state championship. Even that's not going to be there in the current format. They're planning to play to the Final Four, and that's it. So just a tough year, a different year for everyone, but especially for these seniors in their last year of playing high school football.
The difficult choice too kind of becomes, when do you say, okay, maybe this isn't working? I mean, how many different postponements or people sitting out before you kind of pull the plug, which apparently is what Anoka Hennepin is a decision that they faced.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a right answer. I think what's clear is everyone, coaches, athletic directors, administrators, parents, kids, you want to play and you're giving them every opportunity to do it, but at some point, maybe it gets to a point where there's too many unknowns, there's too many things that don't allow for it, but you love that they're giving them a try, and we're trying to make the most of just a weird, hate to say it, but crappy year in so many ways.
Armstrong is back out on the field warming up. Park Center has yet to make their reappearance here. And as we said, halftimes are different this year too, as you're not bringing a full group into a locker room type scenario. And in fact, many of the previous times people have just been meeting in the end zone. And but a little bit different here this evening too. So obviously some things where you're going over things with a whiteboard or that kind of thing are kind of different this year as well. And I think obviously makes it more difficult, especially when you have younger players coming in.
Yeah, and the thing with when it gets cold like this, Jay, too, is as a player, you look forward to that locker room because it allows you to get some of your pads off for a little bit, warm up, go to the bathroom, that kind of stuff. And having to stay out there in the cold, you'll see if that impacts either of these teams.
Let's go down now to Allie.
Yeah, guys, I talked to Coach Nagan here at half, and he said, he really liked what he saw in that first half. I had mentioned 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a shutout in the first half. That's a very balanced attack. So I asked him what was working so well, and he keeps going back to just how young his team is. He said, in those first couple games, in that first game, our team just didn't take advantage of the opportunities to make plays. And here, they're doing that tonight. They're taking these opportunities and they're capitalizing on them. I asked him, what is it that you want to see out of your team in the second? He knows Hoban's probably going to be out. I asked if he changes his game plan. He said, we are sticking to the game plan. We are too young to change it. And he said, at this point, it's really just about getting better. This is a young team, and we want to take these types of opportunities to continue to get better, guys.
Thanks very much, Allie. We want to note, too, a few former standouts from recent years working with these coaching staffs, too. On the Armstrong side, you got Thomas Barber and Jack Leas are helping out this year. Guys that were great players in their program. Thomas Barber, obviously a great career at Minnesota, and Leas with the Mankato. And then on the Park Center side, yeah, Jake Winicky, the former great receiver at Maple Grove. He is as a Canadian Football League receiver for Montreal, but since they're not playing, he is here helping out Park Center a little bit this season as well. So great to see. Those 3 guys are just great young men, regardless of how good of football players they are, but good to see them giving back here as well.
Absolutely. And good for these kids to be around greatness too, right? To learn from some of the great players that we've been able to cover over the last few years. So it's a good experience for everyone, a win-win for everyone.
Armstrong will get the football first here to begin this second half, as Jensen getting set to kick it away here for Park Center. And as is par for the course tonight, we're ready to go, but they're standing around and looking.
Yeah, they were 1 short on the kickoff team here, so scrambling to.
I got to be honest. If that's me, I'm throwing a flag for delay of game. If you're not ready, you're not ready. Yeah. Sorry. Jensen will kick it away here. The high kick coming down, and there's McClom dropping it. He'll retrieve it at about the 10. Working his way to the outside, and now steps up, and a green wave meets him a little short of the 20. So McClom had that kick return for a score last week, but he's had a little bit of struggles here in the return game tonight.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, too, with Armstrong with the 26-point lead. You and I were talking, and I think Allie touched on it, too. With a young team, do you keep your foot on the gas pedal here to start? I think you do. I think trying to get reps for your team, having only played 1 game, 1 cancel. So I think you want to get your guys out there and keep the motor going here and try to get a couple more scores out of your first-team offense.
Yeah, and I don't think at 26 you quite feel like it's over either. As a coach, you just can't afford to think that way. You got to go out and execute. Handoff here to Jones, a big gap up the middle, and Jones working his way out over the 30 to about the 33. and he continues his strong first half. He could be on the way to a 200-yard night. Unofficially now, 162 yards on 12 carries after that one.
Yeah, and I mean, as great as he's been, I think you got to give a big shout out to the offensive line too for the Falcons. They're nothing fancy, no trickery, just straight, between the tackles. They're doing a nice job. They got athletic linemen. You see multiple guys pull on every play, and they do a nice job of kicking guys out, opening up holes.
Malone on the keeper at that time, brought down on the play for the Pirates by Hendricks and also the big guy, Nyan.
About a 4-yard gain on the play. Tackled by number 75, David Yan.
Picked up 4, so 2nd down and 6 coming here for the... Actually, I think he got a bit more than that, more like 5. Here's Jones taking the handoff, and he's got a nice gainer out to the 48.
He just runs with nice patience there. He kind of waits for those kickouts to happen, then he turns it up north and south really nicely. He's got that explosiveness too. So great patience, a little physicality too, and great speed as well as he's shown off tonight.
Jones will check out. First down now from the 48 for the Falcons. And yeah, it is a fairly young offensive line too, but I think you make a good point. They're kind of making strides here this evening. They kind of, had some good moments and some not as good against a good Chaska team last weekend. Malone is going to have to try and dive on it, but it's recovered by the Pirates as he couldn't get it. And Watson will win the battle for the football here for Park Center. 3rd turnover against Armstrong. They had a new back in there, and the mesh point just didn't quite work out. I think it was Cortez Ward. He tried to pull that ball out, and it went bouncing around. And to be honest with you, it looked like Malone hesitated a little to see if maybe he was going to be able to pick it up and run instead of just getting on it.
Well, watch how long he keeps it in the pocket there. And that's where, as a quarterback, you got to be a little more decisive. And to your point, it looked like he wanted to try to pick that up. That's where you just got to fall on it. You got to have urgency to protect that football. This game, it might not come back to bite him, but in other games down the road, leaving that football on the field, you got to get on it.
Good hustle by Kamari Watson there. He wanted that ball maybe a little more than Malone, it looked like, as he slid in hard to get it.
Good to see Freeman back in the game, too, here at quarterback.
Yeah, as Coach mentioned at halftime, he thought Hoban would not be back, but Freeman probably would. Frazier tripped up. Cade Kemple, he's had a night, huh?
He is all over the place. Great effort, and that's about the 2nd or 3rd time a diving tackle at the feet. Just great effort, great pursuit by that young man, and great tackler. He had 10 of them in the first game. He's going to be darn near close or over that here tonight.
Stopped him for a loss of about 3 on that play, so 2nd and 13 right at midfield now for Freeman. It is good to see him back in there. I had the impression that he was feeling okay to go back. Almost looked like when he went out earlier that he was telling the trainer, I'm fine, just leave me alone. But obviously they want to really be, proactive and looking at that, because his head really did bounce off the turf.
Guess who on the tackle?
Frazier taking the handoff, and there is Cade Kemple again.
It's almost like he's coming on a delayed blitz there, and he's able to get to the backfield. And what's tough about that is you're there, and then you got to react when that running back is up the field already. Watch him come down the line and make that tackle again. He's an excellent tackler, great balance and strength too.
Lost another yard on that play, so 3rd and 14 now. Pirates going backward a little bit to start this drive after they had recovered the fumble. High snap. Freeman is going to be dropped. Wow, nice tackle. Well, that's Drew Kemple. They must teach it well in that family, right?
Dad must be a former linebacker and does linebacker drills with both kids, because they are both excellent tacklers. And both of them have had a number of those coming from behind where they dive, and just great effort. That high snap kind of threw off the timing of that play, and Freeman just didn't have a chance. Great pursuit by the younger Kemple as well.
Really good job to wrap up low like that too. Yep. So many guys want to come in and make that big hit and knock him off his feet and all that, but it's a tough thing to get out of if you're the quarterback in that kind of a spot.
Mike Grant from Eden Prairie used to always say football is all about who blocks better and who tackles better. And Armstrong tonight, they have been great tacklers.
Whoa, Jensen just barely got that one out of there. Sherwood's going to field it at the 30, and up the sideline he goes.
He's like a rocket. That's how you return a punt. I mean, look how close this was to getting blocked. Nice job just getting rid of it. Nice job, too, not having a roughing the kicker penalty, but that was a great return by Sherwood. He caught it in full speed ahead.
Yeah, he hadn't really had chances earlier because the punts were a little shorter than the one. The longer one was McClom fielding, and he muffed it. But that time Sherwood getting upfield in a hurry. So they get it right at midfield here. Armstrong, second possession of the half. Malone fakes it to Jones, and the throw is just out of the fingertips there of McGowan over the middle.
Yeah, nice play action there. You see the linebacker sucked up. He had a nice opening in that second level, just underthrew it a little bit. This is where, as a coach, you want to stay on your young quarterback and coach him hard. You don't want to get that comfort. Hey, it's kind of a cliche, Jay. You tell them it's still 0-0, but you have to have that mentality of playing like it's 0-0.
Counter, handoff to Jones, steps through an ankle tackle, stays on his feet, then a nice stop eventually there for the Pirates by Clinton Adebomi, but a nice gainer there for Jones and the Falcons as he'll pick up 19 more.
Yeah, kind of a slower developing counter, if you will, and you can see the Pirates got good pursuit up the field and ran right by him, and a nice job running that time again by Caleb Jones.
Flag down here. It looked like the defender came into the neutral zone first. Certainly a lineman then for Armstrong move, but see if it was Park Center that caused that flinch by jumping into him. Yep. It is going to be against the Pirates, the 9th penalty. Well, we talked earlier, so much about Coach Salas not being here tonight, and Coach Biebighauser having to step in, and Armstrong's had to replace an offensive coordinator for a good reason, though. Jason Potts, their longtime OC, got the head coaching job over at Edina, so he has moved into the Hornets program this year and succeeding Darren Lampker, a former offensive coordinator and quarterback at Armstrong. Here is Jones with the run up the middle, wrapped up from behind there by Davis. And that'll be enough for the first down.
Again, just getting a great push up front by the big horses there in white, doing an excellent job of firing off the ball and driving their guys down, and good patient running as well by Jones.
Yeah, and for Armstrong right now, I don't even think it's so much about the scores. Let's have a good drive. Let's execute what we want to do here. Malone rolling out, and
smart play, very smart play.
He learned from the first half mistake there.
Yep, not trying to force it. Good coverage down the field. He was well protected, had time, rolled out, and I'll tell you what, instead of trying to force a bad throw that could get picked off, you know what, young quarterbacks have to learn it's okay to live to fight another down.
Yeah, that's a hard thing for when you practice all the time. You're trying to complete every pass, and to learn that throwing the ball away is a good play is sometimes a tough lesson. 2nd and 10, rolling to the left this time, throwing, it's complete. Inside the 10-yard line goes Ernest Evans, a flag down on the play right near the spot of the tackle. I don't know if this might have been a face mask at the end of this or...
Well, nice play action again, and not an easy throw that time for Malone, rolling to his left, but he delivered a strike, an accurate throw. Nice play.
It is going to be the 5-yard variety face mask. So half the distance here as Armstrong will move inside the 5.
Not an easy throw either. Look at him throwing across his body, able to get enough on it too. And look at the throw, nice and high, perfectly placed.
See, the grab of the mask there was by Hubbard, it looked like. So here we go from the 4. Malone keeping it, and he'll be stopped short of the end zone. He kind of paid a physical price there, but he got a couple out of it.
Coach Nagan, I think this is exactly what you wanted to see. 26-0. You had the turnover there on the first possession. You tighten it back up here. You drive the length of the field, see if they can punch it in.
Jones takes the handoff, and he will go in for the touchdown. Ball came out eventually, but already a touchdown ruled there for the Falcons.
The hat trick for Caleb Jones, his third touchdown. This one not quite as exciting as the other two, not as long, only a yard or two here, but either way, counts just the same.
Looks like they will go for 2 here. They missed a kick after the third TD and then missed a run after the fourth. Malone faking the handoff here, throwing on the run, and College, let's see.
Oh, they're not going to count it.
No, didn't quite have it long enough.
What's the term the NFL always uses? Completing the catch.
He definitely had it briefly, but too briefly.
Nice. There's the touchdown run. Let's see where that ball. Oh yeah, ball was a good yard past the end zone there.
He actually set it down on the ground more so than fumbling, so clearly was in. And then it was a near miss on the 2-point try. So we stay at 32-0 midway through the third quarter here for the Falcons.
I feel like we've said it a couple times, but let's see if Park Center can't just get a spark going, Jay. Something positive to build on here going into their next week. So far offensively, remember they started out, they had success running the football. Micah Hoban was having some positive yards, had a couple nice throws from Marcus Freeman too, and early penalties kind of offset those drives, and then turnovers, and then kind of the snowball just kept going and going, and here we are at 32-0. Let's see if they can get back and get some positive yards.
This one's going to kind of drop in. Ayabamadeli picking it up at the 20 and ran by the first wave. Finally cut down after crossing the 35. Did a nice job of getting upfield.
He's had 2 kick returns that are pretty exciting. He's got some talent, good speed. If I'm Park Center, I try to find a way to get him the football. See if he can't make a big play.
They will start on their 36-yard line here, first down and 10. As we said, Freeman back in at quarterback. He was shaken up late in the first half and didn't finish the half, but did come back in to begin half number 2. Faking it to Blay here, throwing it out in the flat, and that one is complete as he connects with Joe Burgess.
Nice rhythm on that play, able to set his feet. He delivered a nice hard strike, accurate. That was a nice pitch and catch right there.
Just a 3-yard pickup, though. Armstrong has done a nice job of not allowing much after the catch.
Yeah, that's kind of been a big difference tonight, is Armstrong able to get yards after the catch, yards after contact. Park Center not. Armstrong doing a really nice job of wrapping up and keeping guys in front of him tonight.
2nd and 7 now for Freeman and crew. Going to go to Blay, and he has no chance on that one, as 40 and 41 getting there. Devin Jones and Drew Kemple. And you could see right when he took the handoff that there wasn't much chance of that one going anywhere.
The question is, which Kemple's had a better game tonight on defense? Both brothers being just outstanding.
Bring up a 3rd and 11 now for Park Center after that loss. Freeman getting pretty good protection now. He's going to step up and look to run, and he slides down just right near the 40. There is a flag down on the play. And it's going to be against Park Center, a hold, I think.
Hey, you wonder if they'll just decline it?
Yeah, I would sure think they might.
Holding on the offense.
Going to check with the Armstrong bench here. I think they are going to decline this one, and indeed they will. Freeman got about 3, maybe 4 on the gainer.
It'll be 4th down, 7 yards to go for the Pirates.
So Jensen will come in to punt here for Park Center.
Rashad Sherwood's back deep. He's been electric when he's had the ball in his hands on a punt return and an interception. Keep an eye on this one.
Park Center still didn't have 11 out there. And running them in and out here. They're either going to have to take a timeout or get a penalty. They will take a timeout.
Timeout, Pirates.
So a little bit of, I don't know if it almost seemed like maybe everybody didn't get the message whether it was going to be punt or keep the offense out. They were a little slow, and obviously when you get some injuries mixed in too, that changes some things where guys aren't sure, oh, am I now on that punt unit or whatever.
It was weird. It was staggered subbing too. You had one guy run in, then you had a group of 3 coming in, and a little confusion. And you're right. I mean, number one, your head coach is out. That changes everything a little bit. Coaches are doing some different tasks throughout the game, so maybe not monitoring the substitutions as well. And to your point, if a couple guys are injured, then it can get confusing. But those are the things that, as a football team, you got to have buttoned up for game time. I mean, we've seen multiple timeouts tonight wasted on substitutions. So those are things that Park Center is going to have to clean up going forward if they're going to want to win some football games.
Jensen with plenty of time here as it's a short knuckling kick. Sherwood not going to get an opportunity to return this one, and then it takes a bounce Armstrong's way back toward the line of scrimmage to about the 38.
Punt is down.
A 23-yard punt. Armstrong will get the football back here with 3:41 to go in quarter number 3, leading at 32-0. I think in a lot of ways, like you said, Ryan, they kind of accomplished what they wanted to on that last drive, mixing a little bit of everything in, and might be the last possession for their first offense, possibly, depending on how things go here if we get through the third quarter with this lead. And a little bit of a high snap, but Malone gets the handoff away, and Cortez Ward, minimal gain on the play, maybe a yard or so.
No gain on the play.
Well, there's a flag.
There's a late penalty flag on the field.
Now we get an unsportsmanlike against Armstrong.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Armstrong.
The penalty part of it is not going to be making either team's coaches happy tonight. They have committed far too many penalties of all varieties, I think, for either coach to like.
Penalty.
It was a quick play with a tackle right in the middle. I didn't really see what went on.
It was a late flag
after
the play. So a lot of times it's something like that. It's something someone said, whether there's some cursing or something like that, bad sportsmanship. But
And
same
guess
thing.
what? A
We've seen
flag.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Penalty flag before snap. Ball start.
A false start.
Well, and these are the things that Coach Nagan is not going to want to see on film, too. You've had a pretty solid, great game. Offense has been sharp, and there's a couple of big penalties here, setting them way back. About 2nd and 30.
Second down, 30 yards to go.
We talked about, maybe their first offense would be done after this series, but you kind of want to end on a better note than what they're starting, too. Malone looking for a screen. I think he's in trouble and gets rid of that. That might be intentional grounding. Heavy-duty pressure coming from Kamari Watson, and the officials meeting now. It's going to be intentional grounding, and rightly so.
3 plays, 3 penalties.
We praised him for getting rid of the ball earlier, which is true and accurate, but on this one, didn't really make it look good.
It looked like a breakdown. It felt like they were maybe setting a screen up
That's
or
what
something.
I thought,
You saw almost like they were letting the penetration, but I don't know if there was just a missed assignment there, but there was no receiver available. That was kind of a broken play.
Armstrong looking rather inept on this drive. They're all the way back to their 1-yard line now after that intentional
3rd and
grounding.
45.
Fake handoff to Jones, and it'll be Malone running it up the middle as he meets up with his counterpart, number 11, James Don there. Not a bad gainer, but you need more than a decent run when you've got that many yards to go. But still a good play to get them a little bit out of
breathing room on the
way
punt,
there.
yeah.
13-yard pickup. And timeout taken here as Abdullahi Osman coming on to punt. Here's a look at what we've got coming up on CCX. We'll be here for volleyball as these same 2 schools meet up, and then Wayzata Hopkins volleyball. Wayzata defending state champ, and our next football is Maple Grove and Osseo. And it's more volleyball with the Trojans in action again, taking on the Knights from St. Michael Albertville. And I guess we kind of have to say scheduled or subject to change based on the way this fall has been, obviously, but that's what we're looking at for now.
Is Wayzata dominant again this year?
They're ranked number 1. They definitely graduated a lot. Remains to be seen whether they'll be, at the same kind of level as they were last year, but they're still pretty good. I think you could definitely say that, but they did graduate a lot of the talent from that team. Osman on to punt here.
Oh, we got another flag. I think you're going to have too many guys on the field.
Or could it be delay a game, possibly?
No, there's 12 guys on the field for Park Center.
Yeah.
2 men on the field, Park Center.
Still 4th down. Obviously, that's nowhere near enough to get them.
5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Gets the kick away here, and a high bounce, reaching for it is Ayabamadeli. And then he will get it into Armstrong territory at about the 48. Did a pretty good job handling a tough hop there. That reminds you of an infielder fielding a bad hop.
Well, good field position here for the Pirate offense. See if they can capitalize. Defense did their job. A lot of penalties backed them up, but now they're going to have one of their best starting field positions, short field.
On the 48 of Armstrong, as Freeman and crew try and get on the scoreboard here for the first time. Again, their top back, Micah Hoban, went out with an injury earlier after getting a shot to the chin. Freeman under pressure, and he's going to be dropped. Here's another guy who's had a nice game, Sean Wright, coming up with the sack that time for Armstrong.
Yeah, he has had a nice game. Good size and speed. That defensive line has got pretty good mixture of size, speed, height, and they get great penetration. You mix that in with some really good linebacking play too. Their front seven there are tough.
Freeman hobbling just a little bit after that stop as well. Fourth time he's been sacked tonight, also picked off a couple times. Hasn't been a most pleasant evening for him.
And you can tell in his body language too, he seems like he's just not, no one on Park Center right now is jumping out as excited or passionate. It just seems like they're worn out and tired too.
Handoff here going to Mark Haba, and he's able to squeeze out a couple yards out of the play. But we'll leave them with a third down and long as we approach a minute to go in this third quarter. And Armstrong's lack of success on their conversions is going to make this be not a running time situation to begin the fourth.
Is it 35?
35, yeah. Freeman rolling to the right, now throwing down the sideline, and Hubbard started to look where he was going to go with that one before he hauled it in, so it'll be incomplete.
You're exactly right. He was about, I'd say about 5 yards short of the first, so you could tell he was setting up as soon as he caught that what his move was going to be, and you take your eyes off just for that split second. It goes right through his hands.
Punt team is out here for Park Center, as Jensen will get set to boot it away. Sherwood, the return man. Jensen with that little running boot. And it will be down at about the 23-yard line by number 23, Kai Oseda for Park Center. And Armstrong will get the football back here, leading at 32-zip late in quarter number 3. See if they still have their first O out there. As I was saying last time, they kind of probably don't want to end on that last drive, which went backward with mainly penalties, but also some poor plays.
Yeah, you had that unsportsmanlike conduct, then you had the intentional grounding. So, yeah, you backed up. Remember, it was 3rd and 46, I think, on that last possession. So, see if they can get a couple positive things, maybe one more good drive, punch another one in here, something good to end on for that first team offense.
Malone will hand it off to Jones, and there is Conte dropping him for a loss. Ishmael Conte just shot the gap there and got to Jones. That's probably going to be the last play of the quarter, and it was a good one for the Pirates. But as we reach the end of 3, it is Armstrong 32, Park Center nothing. The fourth quarter coming up here on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
There's our score through 3 quarters. Armstrong's been pretty much in control of this one, 32-0 lead. They had the 1 touchdown in the 3rd quarter. As we turn it around for the 4th, it'll be 2nd and 13 after Ishmael Conti making a nice stop for Park Center to begin or to end that 3rd quarter.
Yeah, great. We haven't seen a lot of penetration in the backfield tonight, but that time able to get at Caleb Jones before he's able to get up the field, as we've seen so often here tonight. So that was a great defensive play.
Jones approaching 200 yards, and in fact, that was his first
Negative
loss
play,
on that first play of the drive. So here we go with a 2nd and 13 now for Malone. And Park Center jumping into the neutral zone.
I believe that's the 5th time tonight they've had that infraction.
And I'm keeping track, but if I wasn't, I would estimate that to be the 75th penalty of the night. It's been ugly. I mean, let's be honest.
And really on both sides, too. It's both teams, I think, are going to look back on this, and penalties have been a huge factor.
Malone wanting to screen,
nice.
and tipped away there as big David Nyan reaching that hand up and batting it.
Yeah, he's had a nice game tonight. He's plugged the middle on defense there, real athletic play, reading that screen, getting those big mitts up there and batting it down. And Armstrong fortunate enough that Nyan didn't bat it up in the air and be able to make that interception.
Watson is down with what appears to be a cramp there for Park Center. Yeah, it would have been kind of fun to see him take off running if he had been able to catch that one, the 295-pound lineman.
That's like youth football. You see a big lineman get it, you got other kids jumping on the back, not being able to bring him down.
Brings back some bad memories, Ryan. We had faced an opponent, a kid named Jeff DeMars, going way back, played in Rogers. He was so big that they didn't have uniform pants to fit him, so he was playing in jeans. He's returning kickoffs, and he was like the size of all of our dads running at us. We were not eager to get in his way. Let's put it that way.
Oh, good to see him walking off there. Yeah, in the cold weather, generally a lot of cramps. You think of dehydration and hot weather, but cold weather can tighten those muscles up too and cause the same effect. So see him limping off. Hopefully okay.
He had that fumble recovery a few moments ago. He's made some good things happen a little bit for the Pirates tonight. So 3rd down and 8 now for Malone and the Armstrong offense here. He's had a pretty efficient night, although the last drive, as we said, was kind of an ugly one. Going to go to Jones on the handoff, and plenty of room. They ripped it free. This is going to be a loose ball. It looks like Armstrong got on it, though. No, maybe not. Park Center signaling that they've got it at the bottom of that pile.
Fumbles recovered by Armstrong.
Yeah, looks like they're signaling Park Center football. Yeah, Pirates, no,
Armstrong.
No, they did. It was definitely a live ball, a fumble before.
It was heads-up play. I couldn't see who got on it there, but a very heads-up play. Nice job by Park Center stripping the ball.
Back to Jones they go. They're showing him they're not holding it against him that he fumbled last time. He'll pick up a couple.
So he's got to be over 200 now, I would think, with that last run. How about that, 3rd and 8? You have that confidence to run the football up the middle. And Caleb Jones rewards him with a big 1st down. But a heads-up play. I couldn't see who it was, what Falcon recovered that ball, but great effort.
Low snap. They go back to that counter. Look out. Ball might have come loose again. As that time it was Cortez Ward, and it's the big guy again, David Nyan.
Big fella's playing hard. He's been in there on every play, getting great penetration. I would not like to run into him either.
Slow developing on that counter as they're kind of trying to get the action to think the toss is going out that way, and they come back, and that's the kind where Ward, you're hit instantly. You know the guy's coming, and I think he kind of bobbled it.
Yep.
Malone into traffic, nearly intercepted there as Cargbo got his hand on that one.
And so you can tell Malone with the talent and the arm strength, but they're going to have to work with him on decision making there. And again, thrown into double coverage. You got to see that. You can see there was just no one there, no one available. He's lucky that one wasn't picked off as well.
Yeah, that one was never had a chance.
No. You can tell Park Center knowing that they had a chance there to maybe make an interception, and not only that, but no one in front of them a chance to maybe get a pick six out of it.
Osman on the punt. It's a bad snap, and he is going to be wrapped up. No chance to get that one out of there. And Conte wrapping him up, and the Pirates will take over on downs.
Is that Osman punting, right? I'll tell you what, that's a smart play not trying to punt it there because he had no chance of getting that off. You can see the snap a little bit slow, a little bit weak. He does a nice job of fielding it, and I'll tell you what, not punting the ball, that's a smart decision.
And then just wrapping it up there.
Yep. So nice play by the Park Center special teams. Again, giving their offense some great field position. They just have been unable to capitalize on turnovers or good opportunities here to see if they can just get something positive down the field here and punch one in.
At the 25 of Armstrong, they'll get it. Madian coming in motion here as Freeman gonna hand it off to Frazier. Frazier has some space getting to the edge. Frazier cuts up inside the 10. He goes down to about the 8.
Carry by number 8, Chris Frazier.
One of the best runs tonight for Park Center right there, well blocked.
Yeah, what I love too is he didn't hesitate, Jay. He just got it and went, using his speed, able to get to the outside. Nice play.
They'll spot it on the 9. First and goal here for PC. Trying to get on the scoreboard here, down 32-0.
And this is where, if you're a defense, you've had a pretty good game. You don't want to lose that shutout. This is where some pride comes in.
Fake it to Frazier. Freeman under pressure, and he's going to go down as he's wrapped up there by Theo Foria. So loss of about 3 on that one.
Yeah, that's right. I give the ball back to Frazier, I think. The way he ran that ball, Freeman just seems a little indecisive still when he's got the ball. I don't know if that's from the hit he took earlier, but just not quite as full speed as Frazier looked like on that run. I give the ball to big number 8 here and see if he can make a play.
And they do exactly that. Frazier running through a tackle, then met at about the 6 and driven back. So got another nice gainer there. It'll be a 3rd down goal to go here for the Pirates from about the 6-yard line.
7-yard gain on the play. 3rd down. 6 yards to goal line for the Pirates.
Had 1 score in each of the first 2 games and trying to get themselves on the board. I mean, a little too late to think about really getting back into the game, but you still want to close strong. You still want to work on things here and see if you can't get something positive late in this game. Frazier on the sweep. Nice open field stop. And again, it is Foria coming up with the big hit there, holding him to about a yard. That one looked like it had possibilities.
Yeah, he closed that edge down quickly. It looked like Frazier might have a lane there to the end zone, but a nice job closing that gap down and great tackle.
You see, a year ago we had that one for you, and it was
similar,
even less close, 43. Now that was a really good Armstrong team. That's I would say maybe as good of an Armstrong team as I've seen since I worked at CCX/Channel 12. They had a couple state tournament teams back in the day too that were awful good, but that was a very good team a year ago. Here we go, 4th down and goal to go now for Park Center from about the 5. Freeman gonna look to run it. Tucks it up, and he's going to be stopped at about the 2-yard line again for you with another stop there. He got some yardage, but not quite enough, and they will turn it over on downs.
Yeah, that looked like a designed run.
It did,
I don't think he was looking to pass, but they had the push, and then just that's where you just got to attack north and south and do whatever you can to get across that end zone. You slow down a little bit. Armstrong, too good team defense-wise. They close that gap down in a hurry, and they're good tacklers.
Yeah, I was going to say, it brought back your point from earlier. They have tackled pretty well tonight. I mean, not that there wasn't a miss here or there. Certainly there have been, but most of the time when somebody gets a guy squared up, they get him down.
Yep.
So Armstrong getting the football back. They will have their backup QB in now, Quantez Ward. Kind of a tough spot to get the football in for your first snaps, but
do have Caleb Jones in there, though, knowing that you have that guy behind you can help a little bit.
They do go to Jones, and nice open field stop there by Addian for Park Center.
Look at the hole. Look at that hole. Great camera work by our guys out there, too, but look at the hole that offensive line put up there. That's just beautiful. Well blocked.
Got an injury timeout here. And this time it's Conte.
Yeah, you don't like to see that. That young man has played hard tonight.
Let's go down to Alley.
Conte out there. He kept my arm.
In some pain for sure as they talk to him about it. And looks like he is going to be able to get up. He's had some good plays tonight, certainly for Park Center, so let's hope he's going to be all right. You know, even if he can't come back in tonight for the rest of the season. Yeah, and Alley definitely corrected. Looks like that. Boy, that can happen when you're trying to make a tackle or just other plays in football where you get that arm bent at a bad angle, and that can be really painful.
When you actually think about the game of football, it's almost amazing someone doesn't get hurt on every play. I mean, you got big guys, big pile.
Oh, ball's loose, and the Pirates are going to have it.
Oh, what was that?
And it's recovered by Nyan, who's had such a good night. And
he deserves that.
That was the only thing that made me wonder if Armstrong would keep their first team quarterback in when you get the ball inside your own 5 like that. And
watch Ward. This ball goes on the ground. He doesn't even attempt to get on it. That was just
he never had a handle of it, and then it was kind of at his knee and just fell. That one was a tough one. So the Pirates will take over on the 3 again with an opportunity to get their first points of the game.
Yeah, good for Nyan. He deserved it. He's had a heck of a game. He's played hard. Good for him to get that fumble recovery.
So Freeman and crew trying to punch one in. And they're going to do exactly that as Blay gets into the end zone for the Pirates.
Good push on that right side of the offensive line there, and Nate gets it in beautifully. Nicely done. And reward that young man, still sitting out there in the cold, cheering these Pirates on. Happy to see a touchdown.
Jensen will come on to attempt the extra point here for Park Center. So Blay able to finish off a 1-play drive after Armstrong fumbled it away. Pirates, I don't think have 11 out there. And they'll have to use another timeout. Look at that play, well blocked right side, and Blay easy path to the end zone.
Well, and he's a great short yardage back. I mean, good size, 210 pounds, and nice push that time, and Good to see Park Center find the end zone.
And Jensen's extra point kick is up and through. And so just about midway through the fourth quarter, it is Park Center on the board for the first time. That'll make it a 32-7 football game.
And no matter how this game ends up, I think if you're Armstrong, you're not going to have a good feeling about how you finish this game, right? I mean, the last couple of drives of the first team offense, of course, I don't think were great. And there you had the turnover at the 1 yard line. So see if Armstrong can get a couple positive plays back so they can end up feeling good. You know, they're going to win the football game, but I don't know if they'll feel great about it.
You see number 7, Hoban, who got injured in that first half, so he is still here, which is good, but not in uniform anymore fully there. So best wishes to him and hope he's all right.
Yeah, you can see Armstrong's going to gear up here for an onside kick, being prepared for that. I wonder what Park Center will try to do.
Going to boot it away and bangs it deep.
Yeah.
It's going to get into the end zone for a touchback.
Yep.
As Armstrong was pulled up there. And it will be Falcons football again here. Their lead sitting at 25 now, 32-7.
Been pretty impressed with their kicker and punting to the ball tonight. He's been very solid.
Ball down in the end zone for a touchback. Armstrong will start. First and 10.
Ward, who fumbled it away last time, coming back out for his second possession as Falcons quarterback. Go to Cortez. Ward breaks through the first wave and kept on moving. Iobamadelli threw him down hard, but not until he picked up a first down.
Armstrong, number 23, Cortez Ward with the carry. First down for the Falcons.
So a first down at the 32 now for Armstrong. And he bobbled it right to the back, Ward. Not entirely sure if the Wards are brothers, but it's right into the lap of Cortez Ward there.
Quantez Ward has to get his hands ready. That's 2 of the 4 snaps he's had. His hands aren't ready for it. The quarterback, you got to have those hands ready.
I don't think you could do that again if you tried exactly like that.
Almost looked like a direct snap.
Yeah. And he drops it again. They're going to have to take him out. It's recovered by the Pirates. And looks like Ward might be a little shaken up as well as Watson with the recovery. 5th turnover by Armstrong. Let's go down to Alley now.
Did come back in on that last play. He'd been working with the trainer, telling the trainer he's good now, but the trainer kept manipulating his shoulder and there would be some pain, but I think he won the battle between him and the trainer. He did make it back out, so he's set to go.
And that's not good.
No, that was a scary looking hit. He was kind of bent down like that and took a hit. That's not good.
And I think he is still on the field or too close to the field to start play again. Yeah, he's off the field, but not by much. And they're going to ask, is it safe to move him back a little bit or so we can get going? Looks like Armstrong's kind of bringing that first defense back in. You're right, though. This isn't going to end. I mean, they're going to end up with a big win, but they're not going to end up feeling good about the way they closed it.
No.
So Freeman and crew getting the football right back, and at the 30-yard line of Armstrong go to Blay. And he's stacked up after about a 2-yard pickup there. He had the touchdown a couple moments ago for the Pirates.
About a 2-yard gain on the play. It'll be second down, 8 yards to go for the Pirates.
I thought the receiver up top had gotten a little bit of an early start, but he was just getting onto the line of scrimmage here. Back to Blay it goes. Little space there, and then he tried to cut it outside, but good form tackle by McClom.
Yeah, it looked like there was some more space outside if he would have, or up the field that time. By him kind of kicking it out here, it looked like it was pretty well blocked up front. If he would have just gone forward there, I think he might have gotten another 4 or 5 yards. Instead, tried to pop it out, and great tackle. I think that was McClom on the tackle.
Yep. Yeah, I think you're right there. He needed to just kind of lower the shoulder and get about 3 more there. So 3rd and 6 here for the Pirates. Fake it to Blay, and now it's Freeman running, and
nice
he is
head.
chopped down for Armstrong by Wyatt Knox-Carruth.
Well, Knox-Carruth that time did a great job. He kind of played back like he was playing the pass and tricked Freeman into keeping the ball here, and then watch him come into your screen. He took away that pass there and then came up and closed on a great tackle.
Pickup of a couple, so 4th and 4 coming up here for Park Center. Kemple coming on the blitz. They get the handoff away to Blay, but no chance as he is stacked up.
That was timed beautifully. Kemple, watch him come free right there in the A-gap. Actually went after Freeman. Didn't tackle the running back, but just nice job by those white shirts filling that line.
So Armstrong will get it back.
I don't think they wanted to give up another score. You saw as soon as after that turnover, they put that first team defense right back on the field. It's been interesting to see if Malone comes back out here at quarterback. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, the fact that, Ward got hurt, and he also had a lot of trouble handling the ball. And they must not have a third guy that they feel like they should be putting into this spot. So Malone probably thought his night was done, but he'll hand it off here. And that is Cortez Ward.
I love David Nyan. He has been in on almost every play. His motor tonight, getting in the backfield. He's played his butt off tonight.
It'll be second down, about 9 yards to go for the Falcons.
Oh my God.
So a 2nd down and 9 here. Malone will hand it off again to Ward. Trying to rip it free, and they did.
Picked up.
And it's recovered by Cargbo. Cargbo is going to go in for the touchdown.
Wow. What a heads-up play by Cargbo to not just fall on it. That is great athleticism. Picks it up on the run and has the wherewithal to keep going and gets into the end zone. And the Pirates are fired up. Nice play. That's a great play by that young man.
I believe it was Watson who yanked it free, but we'll get a look at it again as Armstrong kind of just trying to run out the clock more or less, and instead they cough it up, and it leads to a fumble return for a touchdown by Cargbo.
Yeah, Cargbo's fired up. That was a great play. That's not easy to pick that up off the – you almost got to get lucky, right? You got to get a good bounce, but he bent down and got it and kept his momentum going. Nice play.
Jensen's extra point is up and good, and this one is turned down the stretch. Park Center getting a couple of touchdowns, now 32-14. See if we can get a good eye on who – well, we don't see it there. Look at the strip. Yeah, it was in fact Watson who ripped it out.
Smart play.
Cargbo in for the score.
You know, that's what you're taught. You got two guys holding the ball carrier up. The second guy go after that ball, able to rip it away, and being at the right place at the right time. Cargbo knows exactly what to do with it. And that's what you like to see, right? Park Center probably not going to come back and win this game, but you see the excitement now on the sideline. That was missing most of this game. You see them getting excited, and sometimes that's all it takes, a couple of big plays like that. Now you're ready to practice again, you're ready to play next week, something you can build off of.
And for Armstrong, I think a good lesson that you don't let up and stop playing.
You know, and I think a lesson of if you're getting an opportunity to play in a varsity game, if you're that second team, you got to be ready to go. They came in and just kind of lackadaisical handling the ball and effort, and you know, you're going to end up winning this game, but you're going to almost feel like a loss sort of at the end of this game. Well, never say never. I always go back to that Maple Grove STMA game of a few years ago.
They will go onside kick. And a scramble. It looks as though Armstrong got on it, but it was
close,
not easy. Yeah. It's McGowan who ends up with the recovery. Oof, that one was another nail biter. Got a pretty good onside kick here.
Right there, got that good bounce. And
Newbern tried to just smother it and he couldn't, but McGowan able to help out. So Armstrong right now, job number one is to hang on to the football. They'd just like to run this clock out and get out of here with a win.
Yep. I wondered if we might see Caleb Jones back in the backfield. But no.
Noah Simmons now the tailback. Ooh, and he is, I'm sorry, that was Diego Tariquez, and he is throttled by Watson.
Well, Watson with the big fumble strip there in the last play. That time he flew in like a rocket. You know, this is the kind of energy that was lacking for 3 quarters tonight. That was just a big-time play. And now they're fired up. You love to see it.
And back to Tariquez, and Conte wraps him up and brings him down. Now here's a spot where you're Armstrong, though. You're thinking, you do realize that we have all number 2s in and you have your starters in. And, you know, not to say that that isn't what Park Center should be doing or anything like that, but third and long coming up here as this one slowly grinding its way toward a conclusion here. Keep it on the ground again. Tariquez, oh my goodness, he is lit up. That'll be a flag on James Don.
Holy hit, wow.
Wow, that was a shot and a half. Well, it's going to be a personal foul. targeting or helmet contact. Be a first down. Ooh, this was a major league collision.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I was going to say, I wonder if you're Armstrong, if you're just going to kneel here.
And it looks that way.
Yeah.
Getting that first down obviously makes that a feasible thing to do. I have to do it at least once more here as we tick down toward a minute. So Armstrong, played very well in the first half, and they're going to get their first win of the year. But like we said, didn't close real strong. And for Park Center, it's kind of the opposite. They were
something to build on.
Yeah, they get
Absolutely.
some excitement down the stretch with a couple of those scores.
Yeah, this was 26-0 at half. So second half was 14-6 Park Center. So. Definitely. And to your point, too, Armstrong had subbed quite a few of their starters out, but that doesn't matter. Park Center, as a coach, you want to see guys that don't quit ever. And I thought they played with more energy and effort and passion here the last few minutes of this game than they did the first three quarters. So that's something to build off of for them, absolutely.
So it will be Armstrong securing the victory here, 32-14. Falcons, our final score, as we said, their first victory of the season for Park Center. They'll be going to Forest Lake next week as they try and get into the win column. And for Armstrong, they have got Hopkins. That was the game supposed to be week 2. They ended up just flip-flopping that game with the Chaska game. And that will be at Armstrong High School next Friday. So hope you've enjoyed tonight's contest here as Armstrong dominated the first half. Park Center some things to work on and got some things going late in the game, and they get a couple of scores. Our final is Armstrong at 32 and Park Center 14. For Ryan Iverson, Allie Mosley, and all of our CCX crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Park Center.